morning, basketball fans, and welcome to Quinter, Kansas on the west side of the state. We're here for the NWKL Northwest Kansas League basketball tournament hosted by Quinter High School. I am David Pratt, joined by Quinter native Cale Hargett. Cale, it's good to finally hear from you. Great to be back after break. Haven't heard from you guys in a while because you've had 2 home games canceled since winter break. Talk a little bit about the excitement before we get into the national anthem.
Well, the Bulldogs definitely looking to come back at home and get a very momentum-building win to kind of give them a little bit more momentum than usual heading into the semifinals. As we've seen earlier today, Rollins County beat Dighton in a barn burner in the first 3 quarters, but the Buffaloes finally pulled away, and if we get a repeat of that game, it could go both ways.
Good basketball in store for you this evening. Beforehand, though, Quinter High School senior Eli Gruenbacher is going to do us the favor of singing the national anthem. We'll be right back right after that. Back in Quinter, and a huge thank you to senior Eli Gruenbacher. You'll be hearing us talk about him a little bit later this evening during some boys basketball competition. But right now, the girls' side of the NWKL bracket, Cale, we've got Ness City and the host Quinter Bulldogs. Should be a good one. Ness City comes into this one at 3-5. Their most recent contest a week ago, they beat Spearville by 3 points. And on the other side, for the Quinter girls, their most recent contest, Cale, was 2 Fridays ago due to some cancellations. They played Dighton in Dighton 2 Fridays ago, won that one in overtime by 5. Good matchup. You mentioned it earlier. Run you through our starters as we get into the action here for the Eagles. It's Danae Rodriguez, Aneth Robledo, Zoe Seib, Alexa Reinhart, and Hannah Delaney will round out the starting 5 for the Eagles. And for the girls of Quinter, it's going to be Kelsey Solinsky, as well as Kennedy Worth, Bryn Gillespie, Ava Gillespie, and Kashlyn Kwasniewska will be the 5 on the floor for the Bulldogs. First 15 seconds in, it's Ness City basketball. Quinter playing tough defense. Looking to stay in this varsity gym for the remainder of the tournament with a win here. Held ball early on in the possession. It's going to be Bulldog basketball and a good first defensive stand for the Bulldogs, Cale.
That is huge. As something that the Ness City Eagles records doesn't show is they are way more tough of a team than you think. As you see, they're going to press the Bulldogs and kind of really put them in jeopardy to try and create some turnovers and try to gas them out and make them tired early and just make them have poor passes. And just like you see right there, Ava Gillespie just couldn't handle the pass from Kelsey Solinsky, and this is really going to help the Eagles, as I feel like it will take a little bit for these Bulldogs to get used to it, but when they can get rolling, and that's what the Bulldogs need.
It's been almost 2 weeks, Kale. We talked about it a little bit since the Bulldogs have been on the floor for game action. Obviously, we've been practicing over those last 2 weeks, but the game action has not been there for the Bulldogs. As last Tuesday, their game against Western Plains canceled due to some COVID-19 situations, and then last Friday, home game against Sharon Springs, Wallace County, was supposed to come to Quinter. Had a little bit of weather situation on the interstate for that one as well. That one was postponed / canceled. Not sure of any makeup dates at this time, but here in the NWKL, Ness City, not necessarily a part of the league. You told this to me a little bit earlier, Kale, not in the league, but looking for some extra games, so join the tournament nonetheless. Competitive tournament, as that shot's no good. Bulldogs are running the other way. See if the conditioning is there for them as we get into the early steps of this one. Wide open from the top of the key. Solinsky knocks that one down, had the entire lane to herself if she didn't want the jump shot.
As that one was a thing, though, is kind of smart, as if she did go into the lane, you could have seen a collapse and maybe a jump out or a pass out for maybe a missed three or even a make three. But something you'll see is these Bulldogs definitely have the conditioning to do it, as they have been in a lot of close games, overtime games. As their last game went into overtime in Dighton, but they did put on a good run in overtime to win that game. As something you'll see is the Eagles don't want to make it close. They want to keep a big, tall lead late in the game.
Not close is the way the Bulldogs want to keep it indeed, Kale. 4-0 the score right now, and the scoring discrepancies, you just touched on it a little bit, but once you look at the numbers, you dive into the statistics and you have Quinter averaging 58 points a game, while on the opposite end, the Eagles are only averaging 35 points a game. So a 23-point discrepancy there just in the averages from this season. As Bryn Gillespie drives, looked a little bit awkward on the footing, couldn't get it to the rim, and new possession.
Definitely had Cashlyn Klausniska open, wide open in the corner there, but it will not matter as the Bulldogs get a layup in a timeout called by Ness City, a 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout. Like you said, Kale, we'll keep it right here since we're going to stay here for a second. Good little first 2 minutes of action there that we've seen, but I think a smarter play right there from Coach Shelby Flax of the Eagles to call a timeout to kind of kill the momentum a little bit here is a 6-0 run to start this ball game for the Bulldogs, Kale. I can't imagine that Coach Flax wants to see the Bulldogs score their average of 58 points today.
You definitely don't want to see it as the Eagles. The thing about them is that they might not score a lot, but they held their opponents to not a lot either. But here's the thing is that the Bulldogs, they're going to make you score, and they're going to score even quicker than you are. As you've seen it with that huge track race, you could even call it, against Rollins County, as that one is definitely going to be something to look forward to if both of those teams make it into the championship, as that one would be a very competitive game.
Very competitive league we've got here in Northwest Kansas. Ness City is driving to the hoop, going to get a foul call there. Is a good drive there from Danae Rodriguez. Had a wide open look at the block and took it, and she picks up the contact. Will go to the line. She'll shoot 2.
There's a potential for the Eagles to kind of get some 2 easy buckets here and then get moving as they nail the first one. But another thing to watch out for, the Bulldogs definitely cannot foul out their star players tonight. If they do that, I feel like that's what the Eagles' game plan is going to be centered around. Draw some contact, get the star players out, and then really play your offense and win the game. As that one just a little excited there as a double dribble called, and that one will turn the ball over.
Yeah, this is a team that turns the ball over very seldom. Ness City just likes to play a slow half-court game. Oh, Bryn Gillespie might have gotten away with the travel right there, getting a little bit of some happy feet as it's kicked over to her sister, Ava, and Ava will knock down the 3, increasing their lead already, 9-1, just 3 minutes into this contest.
It's definitely a thing to look out for, is that she can shoot it from deep, and she is not scared to either, as you've seen it a bunch of times here. As another thing is when they get the ball, they're not going to stop. They're going to go straight to the hoop, draw some contact, and put them in at the free throw line.
Right there you see exactly as Kale calls it. Bryn Gillespie this time goes all the way to the hoop in the transition defense, turned to offense, gets herself 2 easy ones at the free throw line.
And definitely a thing here, I don't feel like Ness City is going to call another timeout, as that one would be really just another waste of a timeout. That you kind of just want to keep your movement. You just want to keep playing the game, as maybe if anything works out, maybe your team can find it out themselves, as that one they really can't find out there. But they do get a rebound off a missed shot here, as I would see maybe a timeout late in the game, as that one, just a bad foul there, just kind of a angerment maybe foul, as you did see Kennedy Worth. She missed a easy layup there on the other side off a rebound, so maybe just a little aggravation foul.
A little aggravation. I think she realized too, as soon as the ball was in the block, that might have been her assignment that she missed defensively. Showed up a little late, and as soon as the foul was committed, Coach Havlis came over and subbed in Sage Betts.
As that one, definitely a player that has fouled out a lot, and you can't have that happen in later games in sub-state or potentially even state. You cannot foul out, as that one definitely puts your team at a loss, having to take one of your starters out, as she's already got 2 fouls, and that's a huge thing, is coaches don't want to see their star players foul out. They want to keep them in as long as they can.
That's right. Such a huge player for Quinter offensively and defensively in Kennedy Worth, and I think that's one thing that Coach Havlis is really going to start trying to embed into the head of the young wing player. She's only a sophomore, but really it's all about the mindset that she has when she's on the floor. As long as she can stay on the floor, the Bulldogs are in good shape. A lot of action right there. Ness City looked like they had a wide open shot to finish and beat the press break, and they lose it on the attempt. And the other way, transition offense for the Bulldogs, blocked.
And you got to be careful there. You could see Ava Gillespie lurking, and for a second I thought she was going to come around and try to swipe at it, potentially getting a foul. And can't just have that. I mean, even if you are getting pressed, even if you get a little bit angry, keep your cool. Don't do anything, and that one will be off the fingertips of Ness City. I thought that one was going to be a turnover for the Bulldogs.
It was really close to the fingertips of the defender there. It was Danae Rodriguez trying to come cross court to interrupt that pass. The Bulldogs are back on offense. It's apparent on these last few drives that Ness City really wants to slow the Bulldogs down, because when the Bulldogs are running, they are succeeding. And right now, as long as they're forced into a half-court set, Cale, it looks like they're a little bit slow on their feet.
And maybe something that you may not have noticed, but on that recent play, I think that was a drew-up play by Matt Havlis, kind of a post-to-post action. As you see, Kelsey Selensky, she came through the lane up to the top of the key, and she tried to throw it down low, kind of a rainbow pass to Bryn Gillespie, but it did get called for 3 seconds in the lane. So watch out for that later in the tournament, and even later in this game, as I feel like they will use that play again.
Yeah, good inbound right there from Shelby Flax and the Eagles. Not quite converted, though. Good look underneath for Alexa Reinhardt, the 5'11 senior, some pretty good size. Kashlyn Kwasniewska fouled in the corner. They tried to double team her, but just a little bit too happy, maybe they're a little bit too early, had to wait, caused them to cause some contact. It'll be a foul against the Eagles.
You can definitely tell a lot of these Eagles trying to get a double team, as Ava Gillespie, I would say in the second half, you leave her that open, those things are going to start falling. As early in this game, I feel like you can do that at a risk, but it's kind of a little bit gambling there, as even if that would have made, it would be a very momentum shifter for the Bulldogs. Is right now Ness City trying to gather some momentum themselves. Is that one kind of think is an easy pass, and just stuck her head down there and kind of moped back to defense. And that's just the thing you can't have, is as a player you kind of just got to be looking to look up and see what the next play is. And that one, something you'll really see is that the Ness City and their guards definitely do a lot of defensive drills. As you can tell, they are quick on their feet and always moving. As just missed that one, as a 7-point lead for the Bulldogs will slowly start to fade away if they keep playing like this.
Yeah, we haven't had a bucket in almost 3 minutes now. The last one came at about 5:15 on the clock. We're down to 2:40 in the first quarter. Still 10-3 the score. Host Bulldogs up by 7. Looking to get something started here on offense. Have struggled a little bit in the half court, getting a set offense going. They've got one going now as Betts is at the top of the key. Swings it to Bryn Gillespie. A good backflash by Solinsky, but just not on the same page as Bryn Gillespie, and the pass will go all the way through the corner and a turnover.
And another thing to watch out for is definitely you got to watch. Most of these good teams in the NWKL have a really good coach that can draw up some plays, especially Matt Havelis and his team. As a 30-second timeout called by Matt Havelis.
Yeah, this time it's going to be the hosts, the home team, the Bulldogs, calling their timeout. 30 seconds again. Havelis just wants to draw something up. He didn't realize he had the ball in the corner, and now he's got it over there in the deep corner where the official stands currently, just to the right side of the basket. So could draw something up from around the short corner here. And Kale, do you want to get an easy bucket underneath the rim, or do you want to jumpstart your offense and try to get a three?
I would say kind of take it slowly. Maybe chew up some clock and then see what's open. Be patient here. I think they're going to see maybe a back cut, some type of X action in the middle as they come out of a box set. And that's something that really confuses some teams, is really an X action with two screens really doesn't help. As there you see it, they're going to see a steal, and that's huge. It's almost a foul there, and that one will get called. As just trying to, Ava Gillespie just pushing her luck there, as that will be the 5th team foul, only her first. As another thing is these Bulldogs, you can't say it enough, they just can't foul.
Yeah, you just mentioned it. 5 team fouls for the Bulldogs already, not even through the first quarter, meaning the Eagles only have to take 1 or 2 more fouls committed against them before they start seeing opportunities at the free throw line, as their offense looks a little stagnant at this point as well. Only 3 points through the first 6 minutes. They've played really good defense over the last few sets, and speaking of really good defense, the Bulldogs force another turnover, and they'll get the ball back on offense this time. We just saw Ava Gillespie sub out of the game. It was the younger of the Kwasniewska sisters, Cabry, that came in and subbed in for her. Now Ava Gillespie, one dead ball later, checks back in on offense for Cashlyn Kwasniewska. We'll see if they try to free Ava up for a shot. She takes it at the cue and Quinter and knocks it down. Another three, spoke it into existence, Kale.
That one just hit the front of the rim, and that one will roll in every day. Is another thing to watch out for is these Bulldogs, they're going to play aggressive defense, but they're just got to know the difference between aggressive defense and fouling, as that one will be off Ness City, and that one you can hear the Bulldogs fans cheering their team on. That one definitely will give some momentum, as here comes the press again. And another thing that both teams could look forward to is maybe look up just a bit, as the Bulldogs have started to do it. But Ness City, they've had a lot of people open backside of the ball, or even just one pass away from them. As if you do that, this game could be 13-9, 13-6, something like that, instead of 13-3.
10-point affair right now. Eagles trying to get something going on offense still. Danae Rodriguez, a good drive, had an opportunity at the basket, dished it away at the last second. Eagles have done a good job going down low and working to some of their bigs. One of those being Hannah Delaney's done a terrific job down on the block, just trying to fight for position.
And
Gillespie gets it stolen.
Right into the trap there, as that one's going to be an easy bucket. Or so I thought. As kind of right under the rim, and as I said that, I realized that she was right under the rim, and that's a hard shot, as a carry can be called on Bryn Gillespie, trying to get through 2 defenders.
Yeah, getting a little bit too excited with the basketball right now, showing a little bit of, the freshman side of Bryn Gillespie, not a side that we see very often. Plays very experienced, the same way her sister does, sister being a senior. She'll take a breather right now. So the 5 we have on the floor for the Bulldogs, we have Sage Betts, Paige Bell, Ava Gillespie still out there on the floor, Kelsey Solinsky, and Cabry Kwasniewska. Twice Ava has forced a dead ball, on-ball defense, gets the turnover, and Kelsey Solinsky tries to go up the floor, intercepted by Rodriguez of the Eagles, and she steps out of bounds on the interception, so Bulldogs will get the ball.
As 10 seconds left, and I would see maybe that drawn-up play post to post here, as I feel like that's what they might go to, as that one would get an easy bucket for them. Maybe not. They're going to go backside to Ava. Open 3, just off the mark there. And jump ball called 1.5 left. It will go to the Bulldogs, so maybe, I don't know what you coaches split decision there. Do you take that jump ball to get the ball back with 1.5, or do you save it for the next quarter? As you can see, probably should have saved it for the next quarter as nothing happened there.
13-3 after the first quarter of play here in Quinter. It's the host Bulldogs on top of the Eagles here at the first round of the Northwest Kansas League Tournament. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Levi Gibbs, Western Kansas Regional President for Equity Bank.
And I'm Chad Churchwell, commercial lender, Quinter, Kansas. Equity means more.
More response,
More attention.
more expertise. We are proud to support the communities in which we live and serve.
And we are proud to support all of the Quinter athletic teams, and we wish you the best of luck.
Stop by and see us for all your banking needs.
Go Bulldogs!
First 8 minutes of basketball are under and done here in Quinter. It's the Bulldogs up by 10, 13-3. And Kale, what was the first quarter of woeful shooting for both teams? Both teams had their opportunities, just couldn't quite convert on the opportunities that they wanted to. But nonetheless, the Bulldogs hit a couple of threes, kind of stayed true to their identity. It's just the Eagles have to get something going here.
As definitely as the Eagles, you could see they had a press going, and if they keep that going, they will get some points off of it. You just haven't seen it recently. As just stay in it and just be patient with it, and that's a huge thing at the high school level for girls. Is they're all wanting to just rush and get as many points on the board as they can, and if you just stay patient and stay spread out, it can really help. As there you see an and one, and that could really be some momentum for the Eagles.
It's Hannah Delaney knocking down the basket and getting the free throw opportunity. She has been putting in quite a bit of work down on the block so far and finally paying off for the junior. Can't get the free throw to go, but a good look and something to look forward to for the Ness City offense as well as Shelby Flax moving forward in this game.
As Kennedy Selensky may have gotten away with a travel again, and right now a couple of mismatches I can see as Kelsey Selensky wide open in the corner there, as that one will force the Bulldogs to use their jump ball. As
that late first quarter jump ball might have paid off there, as since the arrow switched, Ness City got it at the start of the second quarter and it already switched again. So it's Quinter ball on that held ball. Good opportunity, good look for Ava Gillespie, no good on the jumper. Down low again, Hannah Delaney, she'll get another one. And finally the hard work she put in all the first quarter paying off. That's 4 straight.
And this one really could be a switch of momentum. Kennedy Worth open on the wing, just off the mark, and I feel like the Eagles have the momentum with them now, and they gotta just play with it. As if they play how they did scared in the first quarter, they really could pass up a great opportunity on some momentum. As you've got number 11 wide open from the wing there, as that one catch and shoot there could be open there, as both teams very spread out in a man-to-man or defense, as it just comes down to how do you break a man-to-man, as the Bulldogs have shown a couple of ways here as they seem to be working. As 13 points, not really their best first quarter, but it can prove to put more points on the board than the Eagles, as the Eagles doing their best job to hold the Bulldogs to as much, not as much as they can, and the Eagles, like you said before, they don't score a lot, but they hold their opponent to not that much either.
Trying to set up their half-court offense, slow it down a little bit, maybe take Quinter out of this one. It's 13-7, Bulldogs on top. Mid-range jumper, no good that time. It was Alexa Reinhart, and the press of the Eagles set up directly off of the missed shot, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize takes a lot of talent from all 5 on the floor, being able to be on the same wavelength of setting up in their spots off of a missed shot, let alone off of the inbound. But the pass from Worth to Bryn Gillespie, three-pointer no good. Worth back to her. Good feed from Bryn Gillespie. Down low, Paige Bell is blocked and held at the top of her shot, so they'll call a held ball on the floor, and we've seen 3 changes of possession arrow already, Kale. This time it goes to the Eagles.
As that one could have been trouble for the Eagles, nobody near the inbounder, as they will find the point guard to set this up. And an interesting offense, a lot of switches and front cuts there, as you see number 11 for the Eagles, wide open, and that one will hit the rim and fall in as a 4-point lead now for the Bulldogs.
And that is 6 straight points in the second quarter for Hannah Delaney, as well as the Eagles. Ava Gillespie looking to break that spree. Can't do so as that ball rims out. Clean poke at the ball that time by Kashlyn Kwasniewska, knocks it out of bounds. We'll slow it down a little bit. See some substitutions for both teams right now.
And a thing to watch out for, if you are the Bulldogs, do you go into a press to maybe slow down this Eagles offense? I feel like right now with the 6-0 run, specifically from Delaney, do you maybe try and pressure her as you see a double team from the back of Kelsey Selinsky and the front of Bryn Gillespie, as maybe that's the solution to stopping this Eagles offense? Is you got to wonder, what has Coach Matt Havlis drawn up in the game plan for this game today?
And you knew coming in, Coach Havlis definitely did his scouting report as another held ball down on the floor, this time going to go to the Bulldogs. But you know Coach Havlis did his scouting report and realized that Delaney stands at 5'9", could easily be 5'10", as well as the other big, Alexa Reinhardt. She stands at 5'11", and there's nobody really on Coach Havlis' squad that matches up that height or that size. So he's going to have to game plan a little bit here and choose between a few different girls to guard Delaney and Reinhardt. Missed shot for the Eagles. Bulldogs the other way. Nice job, Kelsey Selinsky slowing it down. Kennedy Worth open for three, takes it. No good.
And this is one that the Bulldogs have to get some points here to slow down this Eagles offense. As with a 4-point game, you could potentially be giving up all that hard work in the first quarter as a full timeout taken by the Eagles.
Full timeout, like you said, Kale. This one from Ness City. We've got 4:44 left to play here in the second quarter. It's 13-9. Bulldogs on top.
Family Market in downtown Quinter is here to provide fuel for Bulldogs of all ages. Come in and check out our variety of fresh produce, the large selection from the meat department, or food from the deli section. Offering weekly specials, Family Market has your family covered. Shop local, where we provide friendly smiles, a warm welcome, and service you can't find elsewhere. Family Market, a locally owned grocery store, is a proud supporter of all things Bulldog and Bulldog athletics.
Back in Quinter, coming out of a timeout called by Matt Havlis. It was 13-3 at the end of one, and we're almost halfway through the second quarter here, and it is 13-9. Quinter still on top of Ness City. Ness City's really found their way offensively through the hands of Hannah Delaney, a 5'9" junior, doing incredible, has 6 straight points for the Eagles, 6 straight points out of anybody on the floor right now. And really, the Quinter offense has just kind of gone a little stale. The shots aren't going in, but the opportunities are there. What do you think they have to do to fix that, Kale? What do they have to do to get some of those opportunities to fall in through the bucket?
I feel like they have the open looks there, and I feel like if you run this offense maybe in the third or fourth quarter, it definitely will work. But I feel like right now you got to get in the paint as Kennedy Worth does that. And you see the Bulldogs in a press now, and that one's really going to help them a lot too, is 4 straight points right off the timeout there. And that's something that most coaches don't talk about, but they want, is execution off the timeouts. As if they, 2 Eagles players collide, and one still down on the floor here, as that one might be.
The injury on the floor, like you said, Kale, I wasn't able to get up or get away from the bottom of the basket, as the injured Eagle is Monica Jordan. Both teams going to head to their benches respectfully. 17-9 your score, 4:14 left to play here in the second quarter. We'll take a quick break while we tend to the injury, but we'll be right back after that.
Thinking snacks, refreshing sips? Quinter Pit Stop, just north of I-70 in Quinter, has this and more. From fuel to your favorite snacks, and not to mention daily lunch specials and fresh pizza, new owners Travis and Kristen Haldeman and their staff welcome you to their store 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and until 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Stop in or call the Quinter Pit Stop at 785-754-3707. Proud supporters of Bulldog Athletic.
Injury timeout resolved on the floor. Monica Jordan up and back to the bench under her own power. A little bit of assistance from some coaches, but kudos. Happy to see her back to the bench on her own. Shooting some free throws right now for the Bulldogs, it's Kelsey Solinsky. She was fouled on the offensive rebound putback. That made free throw right there, her 5th point, looking for number 6 with this one.
As this one really could open the game for the Bulldogs, is maybe a 6-0 run of their own, maybe a little bit more, as the Eagles finally break the press. And that one, just poor communication. And you gotta wonder is if the chemistry is all here, as there might be, as Ness City has a couple of Sacred Heart players on their team here, as you gotta wonder, is the chemistry all there for just a high school team, as maybe you've only played for 1-2 years compared to maybe 4, 5, or 6 years through junior high and high school.
Right there you saw Kennedy Worth just picked up her 3rd personal foul. Not ideal with just under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter, as the free throw shooter currently Danae Rodriguez for the Eagles.
And you can see Coach Matt Havilis turned around for just a second after subbing her out and just talking to her, as probably won't see her for the half, maybe a little bit of the third quarter if that's how she keeps fouling. As you've seen, she does have a bad habit of fouling. She is an aggressive defender, however it does come at a cost, as usually around the last couple of minutes we've seen in the most crucial games she has fouled out. So you gotta wonder, maybe in practice kind of take her one-on-one with Coach Matt Havilis, have just a little bit of a talk, maybe run some drills with another girl and just work on it, as that's kind of what practice is for. As you see there, the Eagles are really starting to knock down their shots, and here comes the press, as they're going to break it pretty easily too, as you see Bryn Gillespie wide open at the short corner. And the 3 rattles in and out, but they will get a foul.
Ava's 3, like you said, rattled in and out, and Bryn got the rebound and did the smart thing of catching the rebound in the midst of 3 other defenders and going right back up with her arms to make it look like she was trying to get the shot off the rebound. Gets the foul call. Is going to shoot 2. The 3 from the Eagles was by Annette Robledo, only their 3rd to see the scoring column to this point. Her first basket of the evening. Checking in for the Bulldogs, it's going to be Kabri Kwasniewska for Kashlyn Kwasniewska. Bulldogs done a much better job when it comes to the fouling statistic in this second quarter, as they only have 2 here in the second quarter. Had 5 in the first quarter. We're over halfway through the second quarter now, and only 7 for the Bulldogs. Cleaned it up a little bit. Coach Havilis really making that a point of emphasis.
And so, yeah, another thing is something to look out for, is the Eagles definitely have some little bit of danger when you come out of the out-of-bounds plays. As you see, Delaney was wide open from probably 3 feet, just under the rim, and you put that in, it's a 5-point game, and that's even more momentum. As another thing that coaches don't talk about is just execution. And you could tell the Eagles were almost there, as a 3 in and rattles around and back in. Eagles make it a 4-point game. Probably that ties their closest lead. Again, as Bryn Gillespie, almost an offensive foul there, as that one really couldn't have been taken by the Bulldogs. And she cuts to the middle of the lane, was open for about a couple of seconds, and then was not open again, as that one will stay with the Bulldogs tipped.
You saw the assistant from the Eagles up on the bench saying it was off the knee of the Bulldog player. Bulldogs will inbound from the short corner. Bryn Gillespie. Sage Betts thought about the shot from the wing, and they'll set up the offense now. Solinsky at the top of the key, drives and kicks to Gillespie. Kabri Kwasniewska, 1 dribble, pull-up 3, no good. And it'll go back towards the Eagles.
Bounces off a couple of people there on that rebound, but the Eagles have done a fabulous job rebounding tonight, as on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, you've seen a couple, but not many, as both teams really a very good defensive rebounding team. And maybe with just a couple more offensive rebounds, this could be a whole different game for both teams. As as I say it, you see a bunch of offensive rebounds for the Bulldogs, but it will be stopped by a travel. And this one is a huge drive for Ness City to make it a one-possession game with a score.
Yeah, making it a one-possession game with now we're under 1:50 to play in the first half, and just this whole second quarter, they've slowly but surely chipped away at this lead. And as I start to say it, Kale, the Bulldogs get a steal and throw it right back into the hands of the Eagles. Solinsky was trying to lead Cabry Kwasniewska just a little bit, but Kwasniewska had no idea that pass was coming to her, and it'll be another turnover for the Eagles, and it'll be back in the hands of Quinter. So 3 turnovers in 15 seconds, leaves Quinter with the ball still. Gillespie across the floor to Cabry Kwasniewska. She drives and pulls it out. Solinsky will go to her left, and now they'll set up the offense. Thought they were going to have a few looks with those drives. Back to the top of the key, Betts. Skip pass to Gillespie. So switch spots. Getting some motion now with the girls and the basketball. Down low, Bryn Gillespie posted up short corner. She's doubled and has it stolen right away as soon as she gets the entry pass.
And a nice defensive play by Kelsey Solinsky. And another thing that you might have just saw from Ness City that could be the cracking point is looking up from your dribble. On one possession, number 14, Alexa Reinhart, wide open in the corner. I watched her the entire time, drove right into the lane, wasn't even looking at her, and she could easily become a catch and shoot from 3, and that one could really have been bad for the Bulldogs, but instead kind of an offensive out-of-bounds play from the Eagles, similar to the Bulldogs, is pass it to the corner, up to the wing, switch spots, and for the 3, and it was overplayed. Tried the jumper, but a double dribble call on the Bulldogs there, and that one is huge. She saw the light and wasn't thinking about her dribble there. As 35 seconds left, do you hold it here and try to stall as much as you can to give the Bulldogs a bad amount of time for a last shot? As you'll see it here, what the Bulldogs ran in the first quarter, the Eagles throw right back at them.
I think this ball is going to go to the Bulldogs. Yes, it is. It will be Bulldog basketball off the loose ball, and you just mentioned it. I believe Coach Havlis is going to recognize the time on the clock the way you just did, Kale, and hold for this last shot. 23 seconds, up by 4. Trying to set something up, a screen for Ava Gillespie. She'll go, drive to the hoop. It's blocked, no good, and Bryn Gillespie for the cleanup. Gets the rebound, misses her shot. 10 seconds now, and it's Eagle basketball.
As another thing to look out for is maybe a premature shot there, as travel going to be called. This is huge. 4.6 seconds left. If you are the Bulldogs, do you just hold it and go into halftime with a 4-point lead, or do you push it? And they're going to push it here as Kelsey Solinsky, deep shot, almost off the back of the iron there, and that one looked good off the hands, but it was not. Bulldogs lead by 4, 20-16 at the end of the first half.
Good first half we just had there, 20-16 like you just said, Kill. Take a minute, talk about it just a little bit here. We had 7 points for Danae Rodriguez and the Eagles. Behind her, Hannah Delaney had 6. Annette Robledo had 3. Solid scoring, only 3 people to score for the Eagles. But on the contrary, the Bulldogs only had 4. Kelsey Solinsky finished with 7 in the first half. Worth had 6. Ava Gillespie had 6. And Bryn Gillespie had 1. You mentioned it, 20-16, a 4-point lead. Those were your scoring stats for the first half. We'll take a quick break, be right back, talk about the first half, preview the second half, and get a little bit more insight from our guy, Cale Hargett.
Kansas Land Bank is a locally owned community bank supporting community and school events. They are a full-service bank offering everything from ag loans to personal savings and checking accounts. Kansas Land Bank has a friendly staff that provides that personal touch. As one of the few locally owned community banks left in western Kansas, they strive to serve the needs of the people in our area. Kansas Land Bank remains a proud supporter of all Bulldog activities.
Smoky Hill Ag is your precision ag service dealer. They offer customized agronomy for your farm, providing precision fertilizer applications with custom chemical blends. Smoky Hill Ag will create recommendations specific to each farmer's needs. With local service and competitive prices over the past 15 years, Smoky Hill Ag provides local ownership, management, and employment with community involvement. Trust them for all of your customized agronomy needs. Smoky Hill Ag, a loyal supporter of Quinter High School.
Blue Stem Medical's primary care physicians, Dr. Michael Mackin, Dr. Doug Gruenbacher, Dr. Shelley Gruenbacher, Dr. Scott Rempel, Dr. Anna Rempel, and nurse practitioner Glenda Wheeler provide medical assistance for the entire family. Their amazing staff provides services for all ages, including OB, sick and well visits, televisits, physicals, immunizations, and minor procedures. Visit them at 501 Garfield Street in Quinter, or give them a call at 785-754-3333 to book your next appointment. Blue Stem Medical, delivering beneficial care for Northwest Kansas and a proud supporter of Bulldog Athletics.
Solinsky Land and Cattle Inc. of Park, Kansas proudly supports all Bulldog activities and Bulldog athletics. Kelly and Curtis are lifelong residents of Gove County and have farmed for over 30 years. They proudly run their family business. The Solinskys operate a small livestock feed yard while also growing wheat and corn. Keeping up with the best practices, they incorporate no-till farming in the operation to the greatest extent possible. Solinsky Land and Cattle would like to congratulate the Bulldogs on the tremendous accomplishments of this year and wish them the best of luck.
Providing clients with the knowledge they deserve and the coverage they desire, Kendra Salyers Barnes with Farm Bureau Financial Services specializes in excellent customer service, integrity, and accountability. She has dedicated over 20 years to serving Northwest Kansas communities. For all your insurance and financial needs, call or stop by the offices to see Kendra at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Hoxie at 785-675-3661 or in Quinter 785-754-3641. Farm Bureau Financial Services, here to help you protect what matters most in life.
Kaiser Angus supports the Bulldogs in their academic and athletic achievements. Kaiser Angus is owned and operated by Daryl and Frina Kaiser. They have served many ranchers in the area and farmed in Gove County since 1990. The Kaisers offer and sell registered Black Angus cattle. They also look forward to being your new seed stock source. Look for their annual production sale the first Thursday in April. More information can be found at kaiserangus.com. Kaiser Angus is proud to support the Bulldogs in this tough year and looks forward to many more accomplishments to come.
Gove County Medical Center would like to welcome podiatrist Dr. Robert Hens, who is now accepting new patients. This means you can receive high specialized care for many foot conditions such as sports injuries, foot and ankle pain, bunions, and many more. With Dr. Hens and on-staff providers, GCMC hopes to serve as a premier facility for podiatry. By extending this care in Quinter, you will not need to travel for your podiatry needs. Gove County Medical Center, dedicated to healing through caring. We are GCMC.
A healthy smile is the goal for every patient at Blackwood Family Dentistry. For over 18 years, Dr. Blackwood and his staff have been offering comprehensive care to patients of all ages. Dr. Blackwood is your hometown provider for all treatment options to maintain and restore your oral health. So if you are a new patient or want convenient family scheduling, make an appointment at Blackwood Family Dentistry, proud supporter of Bulldog academics and athletics.
Back in Quinter for Bulldog basketball, it's 20-16. Bulldogs on top of the Ness City Eagles here in the first round of the NWKL tournament. If you joined us later, you're just now joining. I'm David Pratt. I'm joined by Cale Hargett. We've had a pretty good contest to this point, just some shooting woes between the both teams, some opportunities without some conversions. And Cale, the first half for Ness City was really everything they wanted it to be in the way when you look at it of they slowed Quinter down.
Yes, definitely is. Something you don't see usually, other than that Hill City game, which they did end up losing just by 3, is this Bulldogs team usually scores a lot in the first half and second half. As 20 points is not really usually what they're at. As you see, they play lots of high-paced, high-action games that usually end up scoring in the 50s, 60s, sometimes, very rarely, high 40s. As something you see is they really like to score, and they definitely will let just a couple of buckets through. As with that comes a lot of great offense with the Bulldogs. That's what they usually have and what they are known for.
And On the contrary, we talked about the win that the Eagles had there in the first half defensively holding this Bulldog offense. But for the Bulldogs, you know, you look across the board and the scoring's there from, you know, from your primary scorers, and Kennedy Worth has 6. Ava Gillespie has around that same mark. She has 6 as well. Yep, 6 and 6 for those two. Kelsey Solinsky with 7 also, but really nothing to hold your head high about in the first half if you're Quinter. Kind of a sloppy first half. Couldn't control the basketball, didn't shoot well. What do they got to do in the second half to kind of flip those shooting numbers around, as well as change that turnover game around?
Another thing is just get everyone involved. I know how I talked about star players, but on the offensive side, anyone can score it. I feel like it's a little bit different on the defensive side, as usually you see Ava in the 20-point range, but I feel like teams are starting to figure her out and they want to stop her, and that's how they feel that they can win. But everyone on this Bulldogs team can shoot the ball and put it through the hoop, as I feel like that's going to be a huge thing, is not just Ava, not just Kennedy, not just Kelsey. Open it up to maybe Cashlin, Cabry, Sage, even Paige. If you open it then, you'll see a lot more points start to flow on the board along with your star players.
I agree completely. The distribution of wealth is going to be key in the second half for the Bulldogs. A little stagnant in the first half on offense. For the Eagles, they just want to keep their offense in this one, keep playing solid defense. 4-point game right now. Quinter Bulldogs on top here at home. First round of the Northwest Kansas League basketball tournament. Bulldogs 20, Eagles 16. We'll be back with the second half of action in about a minute and a half.
Hello, I'm Levi Giggs, Western Kansas Regional President for Equity Bank.
And I'm Chad Churchwell, commercial lender, Quinter, Kansas. Equity means more.
More response,
More attention.
more expertise. We are proud to support the communities in which we live and serve.
And we are proud to support all of the Quinter athletic teams and we wish you the best of luck.
Stop by and see us for all your banking needs.
Go Bulldogs!
Family Market in downtown Quinter is here to provide fuel for Bulldogs of all ages. Come in and check out our variety of fresh produce, the large selection from the meat department, or food from the deli section. Offering weekly specials, Family Market has your family covered. Shop local, where we provide friendly smiles, a warm welcome, and service you can't find elsewhere. Family Market, a locally owned grocery store, is a proud supporter of all things Bulldog and Bulldog athletics.
One half of play done and in the books here in Quinter Northwest Kansas League basketball tournament. Bulldogs on top in the first round, 20-16 after one half of play. And as we move forward, we'll give you a little bit of an update on the overall bracket at this point. In the girls' side, in the girls' side, Dighton and Rollins County was the 1 seed, or the 8 seed in the 1 seed game at 3 o'clock. Rollins County wins that one. 3 seed and 6 seed Greeley County and Decatur Community. Decatur Community wins that game over Greeley County. So those two teams in the winner's bracket, looking to find out who's going to be in the winner's bracket from this game, and the other game in the JV gym currently Wallace County and St. Francis.
Which I just looked, St. Francis up 15-2 on the Wildcats, as don't know really what happened there, as that one, I think she got her feet planted on the front side of the court and took it to the backside there. As kind of a mental mistake you gotta keep out of this game, as this one could really turn into a close game here, as that could have been a very bad pass for the Eagles. As
the defense has come out here, and Coach Havlis has set up in a zone defense, it looks like, with the few man-to-mans. It looked like Ava might have been guarding the top of the zone, as Kennedy Worth will take that one in stride. Almost lost it. She'll slow it down a little bit in Bulldog basketball.
Kind of see another thing. She kind of gave up on the play. You got to watch out for that. Is even if I feel like you got to play until that whistle blows, and some coaches even argue you play until the echo of the whistle, as this Bulldogs team has kind of shown a little bit of when they start to get into a closer game that they feel like they can't win. They just kind of don't really play that well, and you feel like a lot of games could have went very well. They could be 6-1, potentially even 7-0, with just a little bit more aggression in the later stages of the game. As a close one lost to Wheatland Grinnell in the championship of the Castle Rock Classic, and then a very close one between them and Hill City, which could have went either way. With Kennedy Worth with that last second three, that one could have went either way, as Ness City trying to make it one of those games, as just missed the three there, as that one is a good one. You could tell that one was swatted from, I could tell from up here. As another thing, the Bulldogs cannot keep fouling here, as already 2 fouls just probably a minute and 30 into the game.
Yeah, now your leading scorer, Solinsky, has 2 personal fouls. Kennedy Worth has 3, and Ava Gillespie also has 2. So the 3 leading scorers for the Bulldogs right now are the 3 that have committed the most fouls to this point for the team. So like you said, Kel, something definitely that they're going to have to improve on as we move forward in the matchup. But that time for the Eagles, Mackenzie Tillotson goes 1 for 2 at the line.
And that's just a good hustle play. Came from behind. Probably could hear the footsteps from a mile away there. That one, I could hear it from up here stomping. As you just got to be aware of your surroundings. And there it comes right back to the Eagles. Just aware of your surroundings. And this could be a very different game for both teams. Both teams, you can tell, not playing to their fullest abilities.
Yeah, both teams looking a little bit stale offensively to this point. And for the Bulldogs, to their credit, they haven't played a basketball game since January 7th, 11 days. And right now we're in the middle of the season. The heart of what we would call this season is right now, and it's been 11 days since they've seen the floor. So the shooting and the offensive struggles can definitely be credited to that.
As probably one of your best free throw shooters going to the line here, as you've seen in a game before, especially the Atwood game, put the game on ice with these free throws. His first one rattles in, and you gotta wonder how much time do you keep out of practice of free throws? Is some teams very heavy on it, some teams very light on it, and it kind of shows throughout the season. As the more you focus on it, the better more results you'll see, and the less you'll see. You kind of really have to depend on your team late in the game to really know your knowledge and be able to do it. As that one is picked off, and that one passed to Kennedy Worth, and she tried to jump stop there, but just a little bit late, as she would have fell. As
I think all around there, both Bryn Gillespie and Kennedy Worth had their eyes light up when they saw the open floor off that turnover, and I think Bryn was a little bit happy with the pass, led it just a little bit too far, and Kennedy was a little bit too happy to receive the pass, and her feet got a little bit worked up as she got it. Makes a good play defensively in response there, but still only a 6-point game in this one, and we talked about it at halftime. Ness City's defense doing a good job at holding this explosive Quinter offense, and so far only 3 points right now in the second half for the Bulldogs.
And she thought about the shot, and she will take it. Only 2, but it is a huge 2 points for the Eagles to make it a 4-point game again. And you see, whenever they get to this 4-point lead, it's kind of the closest they've gotten since the start of the game here, as with every game starting pretty close. As there's a 3 from Ava Gillespie, just off, a little bit too heavy. And that one will go to Eagles. A couple of Bulldogs questioning that cause. I think that with the drought of officials in Kansas, you really have to just be happy that they're there and you can have a game.
You're absolutely right, Kalen. While we're talking about that, and anybody who thinks that they can make the calls as well as the officials on the floor do, we encourage you to reach out to Quinter High School and ask about getting some officiating experience or applying to be an official, because the state of Kansas is in dire need right there as that official blows his whistle for a foul underneath the basket, and this could be a 1-basket ball game after a couple of free throws from Ness City.
Kelsey Solinsky picking up her 3rd. This is her 2nd of the quarter, and you got to think one more, and we probably won't see of her until maybe middle, maybe a little bit before that of the 4th quarter, as you can't have key players, especially one of your leading scorers, foul out. As we've already seen Kennedy Worth, she's had to take a trip to the bench as she has 3 fouls so far. As you see Kathleen Klosneska, maybe give her the ball some more, maybe let her open up the shooting And if she gets a little bit aggravated, then you could take some fouls off her. Probably got away with the travel there with Bryn Gillespie. As nice show of sportsmanship as number 2, Annette Roberto, offers to help her up, but Bryn Gillespie gets up on her own 2 legs. That one may have caused the Eagles to lose it out on a basket, as Coach Matt Havlis will take a full timeout.
Full timeout to try to slow down this race right now. 4.5 left to go in the third quarter. It's Bulldogs 23, Eagles 20.
Thinking snacks, refreshing sips? Quinter Pit Stop just north of I-70 in Quinter has this and more. From fuel to your favorite snacks, and not to mention daily lunch specials and fresh pizza, new owners Travis and Kristen Haldeman and their staff welcome you to their store 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and until 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Stop in or call the Quinter Pit Stop at 785-754-3707. Proud supporters of Bulldog Athletic.
Back in Quinter, let's remind you who brings you these broadcasts. Kendra Barnes at Farm Bureau Financial Services, Blue Stem Medical, Blackwood Family Dentistry, Kaiser Angris, proud sponsors of Quinter Bulldog basketball. Here in the doghouse for the NWKL tournament, it's Quinter on top, 23-20, as we come out of a full timeout from Coach Matt Havlis and the Bulldogs after watching his team as well as the Eagles basically do a conditioning drill in the gym here as they ran baseline to baseline for what felt like 2 minutes straight, just trying to figure out who had full possession of the basketball. And now we've got it as the Eagles get the ball out of the timeout.
And you kind of got to wonder, was Coach Matt Havlis just taking a timeout to give his players a breather, or was he trying to switch something up here? As you see the Bulldogs, when they started out the half in kind of a 3-2 zone, they're staying in the zone down low, but up top it looks like a man-to-man. As an interesting choice of a defense, as Coach Matt Havlis definitely has the almost playbook, I would say, to do it, as he has a lot of plays and defenses drawn up for his team. As that's something that helped him go on that state run in 2017, as hopefully these Bulldogs trying to do it as well as them. And that one was just ripped right out of the hands here, and you could be seeing that conditioning again, just the third quarter back and forth, as just one basket could change the positioning of this drill. As that one will stay there as Ness City got over the back there. That was number 11, Mackenzie Tiltson.
You think with that timeout that Coach Havlis called, he might have been getting a breather for himself, the way he's working both ends of the bench right now, having to follow his team go both ways. Could have been a breather, like you said, Kale, for his players or for himself.
As you can see, that handoff usually means it's coming back into the corner, but they see Kelsey Selensky open, as trying to see maybe with people starting to watch their film mid-time of the season, right in the heart, maybe draw up some new plays around that, as that definitely could have worked. Just a little bit more experience there. As the more times you run a play, the better it gets. That one is blocked by Bryn Gillespie, and the crowd was loving that one, as usually you'll see when she goes up for that, that one will usually draw a whistle and a foul, as didn't this time, as Leah Anstedt and Sage Best back in the game, or excuse me, Paige Bell, not Leah Anstedt, as that one is just airballed there, but couldn't get the ball and her feet set at the same time, as close to a 5-second call, almost turned over as well, as both teams just need to control the ball right now, as could be seeing some subs just to get breathers. As there's a huge three. We've got a tie game now in this one. That one really could change the tides now, as the Bulldogs absolutely need a bucket now.
Hannah Delaney, the first scorer in double points with 11 after that three. She's the leading scorer on the floor right now, and one of only 4 that have scored for the Eagles. And you mentioned it, Kale, it's a tie ball game, a whole new feel to the game at hand right now. Good screen and roll from Worth that time, but she gets blocked on her shot attempt, and it's Eagles running the other way.
And that one, I would go up with that and try and draw some contact. Delaney from just a weird angle, will miss it, and the foul called, as definitely think a press is coming here. As no, they won't pressure the ball. I feel like Bulldogs probably need to go back into that press. It really helped them in the first couple of minutes of the second quarter, as right now thought about the three there. We're going to try a different type of offense here, as that one almost went out of bounds there, as double dribble called.
Tough double dribble right there. It looked like she tried to get her hand away from it, and I couldn't tell if she grabbed it with that second hand, but the official saw the second hand make contact with the ball, so double dribble is the call there. Almost a steal and a good box out and close out on the shot there. And Hannah Delaney again for the Eagles. She has 13, and the first lead of the night for Ness City comes with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
As this one, Bulldogs got to score. And it rolls around, but it will go in. Coach Matt Havlis telling them not to press. Interesting decision there. I feel like there is a lot of time left. That might be a smart move by Coach Matt Havlis. Stays with the Eagles. That one was close.
That was a good job by Ava Gillespie to really make an emphasis on playing for the ball right there rather than playing for contact with the defender.
As Bryn Gillespie in for Kelsey Selensky, could tell she definitely needed a breather there. As hear some of the Ness City fans telling her to shoot it there, as that one passed out, and that's going to be turned over. The Bulldogs really need some points now. About 1:30 left, third quarter, tie game, not very high scoring. As you can tell, the game plan for Ness City has really worked out so far. Low scoring game, kept the Bulldogs at a low scoring point, and I feel like if another thing is their defense turns into offense.
You see that time Kennedy Worth really trying to draw a foul, couldn't get one. No frustration from anybody on the floor about that attempt. As the inbound goes from Bryn Gillespie to Ava Gillespie. Worth flashes across the paint, gets a shot with the nice little baby hook with the right hand, gets it to go. She's in double digits now on the night with 11.
1 minute left in the third quarter, excuse me. As this one, that one was swatted away by Paige Bell. Look, there you see Bryn Gillespie looking up. Kennedy Worth back to a 4-point game. Nobody was near there for a second. And that one took 20 seconds off the clock there to make it 2-possession game now. And do you potentially see a quick shot and try to make it a tie game before the end of the quarter, as here comes a baseline? Kind of look out for that. Oh, that one could have been trouble. And foul called on the Bulldogs. You gotta stop that one, as looking up could go a long ways for this Eagles team. As another foul on the Bulldogs. 5 team fouls. Only 3.
Should be 6. They added that foul on the scoreboard to the wrong side of it. So 6 against the Bulldogs, meaning Ness City has a full quarter in the bonus. Going to get a blocking foul in transition here against Ness City. A little bit too much contact on defense.
And that one was very close from being a double dribble there. As you can see, the ball was knocked out of her hands. Took a jump stop there, as you can see. Trying to work out something here, as it's about 10 seconds left.
Good drive baseline by Bryn. She draws the foul. Perfect play that time. And we've seen that a few times where she takes a few dribbles and looks up and tries to find a teammate. And this time she just took her head down and went right to the basket along the baseline.
And that's a nice job of not taking a premature shot at maybe the 3-point line, taking it down in there, getting some free throws, and making the first one there. 5-point game here, 30-25. And a thing to look out for is just their last game at home, a loss 34-31. Last second shot by Kennedy Worth, rattles in and out. Do you see this happen again? Do the Eagles go on a 9-0 run in the fourth quarter? They make the 3.
Nice little 3-point shot there from Robledo to end the third quarter, bring it back to within one possession. It's 31-28. Bulldogs on top here at home. First round of the NWKL tournament, 31-28.
Kansas Land Bank is a locally owned community bank supporting community and school events. They are a full-service bank offering everything from ag loans to personal savings and checking accounts. Kansas Land Bank has a friendly staff that provides that personal touch. As one of the few locally owned community banks left in western Kansas, they strive to serve the needs of the people in our area. Kansas Land Bank remains a proud supporter of all Bulldog activities.
Fourth quarter of action coming at you here in Quinter. It's 31-28. The host Bulldogs on top of the Ness City Eagles in the first round of the NWKL tournament. Just remind you, tonight's game brought to you by Smoky Hill Ag, Equity Bank, Quinter Pit Stop, Gove County Medical Center, Kansas Land Bank, Family Market, GG&T Cattle Company, Man Farms, and Gove Community Bible Church. Fourth quarter of action coming at you. Final 8 minutes. Kale mentioned it as we went into the break. The last game played in Quinter's high school gym against Hill City. A final score of 31-34 after 3 quarters of play. The Bulldogs 31-28. And some of the scoring that we've seen in this one could lead to something like that. A low-scoring first quarter we had with the final after the first quarter 13-3. Low-scoring second quarter. And for a team that averages 58 points a game to be held to 31 through 3 is pretty impressive.
As another bad pass, and Bulldogs just kind of, I feel like Eagles pass up a wide open corner 3, but they do get the 2 as Bulldogs, like I said, got to stop turning the ball over here as the bad shot, another turnover, and a foul. No reason. Really is no reason. Puts them to the line, potentially take the lead. There really is no reason. Maybe try and earn our free throws instead of sticking by your side, keeping yourself at 3 fouls. Now you've got 4. Sticking by your side, maybe spooking her a bit as right now. First free throw is up and good. Tie game. This one huge. Cashlin Klosniska in for Ava Gillespie. As right now, Bulldogs got to stop fouling, and they got to take care of the ball here as Eagles take the lead. Close game as Bulldogs got to get out of this hole that they dug themselves here as Cashlin will take it, try to get in the paint there. Same with Kelsey Solinsky, but tried to pass it to Bryn Gillespie. Over the back was number 12, Taylor Starr, and she knocks it out of bounds. So Bryn Gillespie draws a foul as can't throw it into a double team and try to shoot it. You got somebody open around somewhere. 4 people at the free throw line. This one interesting. Solinsky finds Worth right in there. Bulldogs take the lead.
It was a great find on the inbound play to get Kennedy Worth, and now Worth as well as Hannah Delaney both with 15 points in this game. So we're going to see Worth, the sophomore, and Delaney, the junior, battle this one out here in Quinters, both with 15 points. It's a 1-point team contest. Solinsky just went to the ground with the ball, lost control to avoid the travel. Eagles trying to find something in the half court here.
As almost, she thought about that 3. Passes it back out. They're open 3. I feel like some of these Eagles, you're scared to shoot it. But
finally from the short corner, this time it's Danae Rodriguez. She's the second leading scorer for the Eagles.
That is a huge hustle play by Bryn Gillespie, and she's going to try and take it to the hole. Passes out to Worth, up to Betts, back to Bryn Gillespie, just off the mark, try to bank it in there.
And you could tell that Bryn's mind was made up before she even made that, or even took that ball into her hands, that she wanted to shoot from the corner, thought she was open.
As right into the lane there, passes it out. Mid-range jumper, just off the mark. Got to look out behind herself. Almost picked up a foul there. And that one just got to control the ball, stop these turnovers. The turnover is really going to be the demise of the Bulldogs right now. Is just got to stop turning the ball over, take control of it, play how you know you can play, and that's how the Bulldogs can really start to turn on the burners and really just try to open it up. With 5:30 left, still a lot of game to be played, and with this close of a game, really got to push on the gas, but not too hard to make you turn it over. As another foul, and Coach Matt Havlis, really frustrated, just takes a seat on the bench.
That foul right there was Ava's fifth personal against the senior, so she will find her way to the bench, and her sister Bryn will check in for her. So now there's one player fouled out, being the leading scorer for the Bulldogs. She just picked up her fifth. She averages 20 on the year, only has 20 points per game on the year, only has 6 this evening. Worth the leading scorer right now. She has 3 fouls, as well as Kelsey Solinsky, who has 3 fouls. So 2 more Bulldogs to be a little bit concerned about when it comes to the fouling situation, but only 2 here in the fourth quarter.
And here come the Bulldogs. They're trailing by 1. Double dribble called. Just too nervous right now. Got to settle it down.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that it's been a while since they've seen a full 4-quarter game. As we're in the fourth quarter now, you can see the fatigue starting to set in just a little bit. And like you said, you can tell that these girls are not feeling it right now as Ness City increases their lead to 3. Hannah Delaney adds 2 more. She is 19.
Skip pass to Cashlyn Klosniska. She'll dump it into Bryn Gillespie. Back out to Sage Betts. Cashlyn Klosniska just off the front of the rim there. That's huge.
Ball will stay with the Eagles, and you said that was huge. That being for the Eagles, taking that missed shot, it was a good shot for Cashlyn Kwasniewska. She was open. She took it in rhythm with the game, as well as in rhythm with herself. So trailing by 3, the Eagles looking to build on their 3-point lead, but instead blocked on the ensuing shot. Hannah Delaney gets a steal. She'll miss, and it's Bulldog basketball again. Worth and Kwasniewska all alone in the upcourt, and Worth will take it by herself. 17 now for the sophomore.
As that makes it a 1-point game. Just one stop and another bucket makes it a Bulldog lead, and got to settle down. Open from 3 for at least 3 seconds, and that's enough to shoot the ball there, as she'll skip it around to the corner for 3 off the back of the rim. And they're going to get a push. And that'll be the 6th team foul for Ness City, as
still 1 to give for the Eagles, considering they have 6 here in the second half. Danae Rodriguez, one of the best that we've seen on the floor tonight, hustle-wise and scoring-wise for the Eagles. She has 9 currently. She'll step to the bench, has been a presence defensively as well. Bulldogs looking to capitalize offensively with the best defender for the Eagles on the bench currently, and they can't do so as Solinsky misses with the left. Delaney just picked it up, and she'll try to cross the half-court line.
As the Bulldogs with 3:40 left. It's got to be go time. Another big bucket, 3-point lead. And Cashlyn buries the 3, tie game. That's as big of a bucket as you could need. Full timeout taken by Coach Matt Havlis. Both teams fired up. Tie game at 38. Both teams the Quinter just about to be in the bonus. But got to stop fouling and take care of the ball.
Smoky Hill Ag is a precision ag service group. They offer customized agronomy for your farm, providing precision fertilizer applications with custom chemical blends. Smoky Hill Ag will create recommendations specific to each farmer's needs. With local service and competitive prices over the past 15 years, Smoky Hill Ag provides local ownership, management, and employment with community involvement. Trust them for all of your customized agronomy needs. Smoky Hill Ag, a loyal supporter of Quinter High School.
Fourth quarter of action, and the intensity has done nothing but pick up as this game has progressed. It's 38-38. Hometown Bulldogs tied with the Ness City Eagles in the first round of the NWKL tournament. What looked like it might have been a blowout out of the gate, 13-3, the first quarter score. Bulldogs on top after that first by 10 has turned into that of a barn burner. We've got a tie game with less than 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Both teams playing their best basketball of the game right now at what couldn't be a better time.
As right now, both teams just looking for a defensive stop and a bucket, as both teams can't foul and both teams have to take care of the ball right now. As you'll see, kind of driving into 3 people, jump ball called. Stay with the Eagles as Bulldog student section just waiting for the next play, and you gotta wonder what could happen next as 3 minutes left. Eagles, I feel like you can't be afraid to shoot the 3 even if you're not the star player. And if you are the Bulldogs, you gotta tighten up your defense just a little bit, but not too much to overplay them and let them straight into the lane there. As easy mid-range jumper off the front of the rim. Great way to save your dribble there. Just off the front of the rim. Picked up by Bryn Gillespie right into the lane. Bulldogs have the lead. 2:30 left. That is a huge bucket for the Bulldogs. And Ness City gotta find a way to respond. Skips it to the corner. Pass back up top of the key. Pass out near the wing. Pass, skip to the corner. Ness City really calm running their offense right now. Skips it to the top of the key. Back over to the wing, back to the corner. Goes into the lane, just off. Jump ball. And we'll stay with Quinter. And right now, that is a huge jump ball. Makes the Bulldogs use it. Press coming from the Eagles as they've got no option other than to press. As they'll skip it into Worth, and Shulman just can't haul it in. And Eagles have to score here.
Definitely tell that Worth tried to take that inbound across half court before she even caught it. That's why she lost that one, and it rolled back out of bounds. Worrying about the next thing before the first thing, and Robledo can't get that 3 to go. It's Bulldogs the other way, and it's Eagles back.
That one skipped to the corner. Gotta shoot that one. Won't rebound, just off. Bulldogs, she steps on it, and that's a double dribble. And gotta wonder, was that a foul? I don't think it was, as she got it off just a little bit too early, as trying to avoid a travel there. As here come the Eagles. About 1:20 left. Down 2. Stolen, Gillespie trying to take it coast to coast. It's in. 2-possession game. 1:10 left. Timeout gonna be called. 30-second timeout from Coach Matt Havlis. And Ness City with a lot of timeouts left.
Ness City, yeah, with a few timeouts still. A lot of time considering their timeouts still yet to call. 4-point game with just over a minute to go in this contest. It's all but over at this point. We've seen a lot of close games in this gym so far this year. Some going the way of the Bulldogs. A few others, like we mentioned, the Hill City game not going the way of the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs have really stepped it up here in this fourth quarter. They've settled down, taken a little bit better care of the basketball in the last few possessions. They've shot the ball well, and they've really looked to get looks from underneath of the rim rather than settling for the jump shot or taking the jump shot as soon as the look is there. Doing a really good job right now. Matt Havlis has his team in tune, and all the while, Ava Gillespie is on the bench. The leading scorer, the senior starter for the team, you know, what some would consider to be the glue because she is the veteran on this team full of young talent. She's on the bench, fouled out currently, has been for almost 2 minutes now, and it's hard to believe that the Bulldogs have pulled away since she left the floor.
as Eagles trying to respond here. Need a bucket. There's a 2 off the front of the rim. Rebounded by the Eagles. They'll get it back. Stolen by the Bulldogs. Passes it out. Gets it out there. Don't let them right down the court there. Just off. Rebounded by the Bulldogs.
We're going to slow it down a little bit here. Coach Havlis calling for them to slow down. Up by 4. 2 possessions with 35 seconds. The Eagles are going to start fouling. And that one there is going to put the Bulldogs in the bonus. They'll shoot 1-and-1 with that foul. It'll be Kelsey Solinsky going to the line.
And if you are in the bonus, you score, come down, probably the last person you want to foul is Kennedy Worth. As if I'm a coach, I would call a timeout and say, look, you cannot foul 11. She'll put the game on ice, as she did. She has many times before. Easy jump shot, overshot. There's another foul. 24.5 left. Bulldogs lead by 4. I think with these 2 free throws, it could potentially put the game away.
Well, sinking both of these free throws and making it, a 6-point game, that would require 2 3-pointers, and the quickest way possible to get back into the game at that point. And making it 6 points makes it a little bit, I won't say unrealistic for the Eagles, but less realistic when you add that many points. Is the first one out there, so one big possession for the Eagles here could tie it, but a 2-possession game, and the foul's going to be called that time. Worth thought she got her hand on the ball cleanly, but she's picked up for the foul, her 4th, so a great job by Worth of staying clean so far, as they could have lost Kennedy Worth and Gillespie here in this 4th quarter had she not played a clean second half.
And on the flip side here, with both of these free throws, and how much of a difference is it for Ness City as she'll miss? They'll foul quickly. 15.6 seconds left. When we started this game, this fouling game, there was only 10 more seconds than we have right now on the clock, so a very nice job from the Eagles to stop this stop the Bulldogs from spreading it out and potentially having 8, 10, 6 seconds left, down 4 as first one rattles in.
Kashlyn Kwasniewska providing some of the most clutch baskets in this entire contest. Had a 3 to tie it up earlier and knocks down both the free throws right there. 5 points in the quarter, might be the biggest 5 points of the contest.
And you kind of got to roll that one. You got to get a 3 here right now. That one's intercepted. There's a push. That will put the Bulldogs in the double bonus with probably the best free throw shooter at the line. 5 seconds left. I think this one's on ice.
Yep. These 2 free throws giving Kennedy Worth the opportunity to score 18 and 19 points with each of them.
And so let's say Ness City rolls the ball with 15 seconds left. You could potentially have 8 seconds left now with maybe a better shot there, but Bulldogs will take it. 45-38. Bulldogs will head to Friday.
Fantastic first game we had for you. Intensity until the final wire. Bulldogs come out on top 45-38. Tight contest, so Quinter moves ahead. They will play in this Varsity gym right here on Friday at 6 o'clock against Decatur Community, while Ness City will drop. They will play at 6 o'clock on Friday in the JV gym against Greeley County. First game is in the books, 45-38. Next game we got for you in this doubleheader is going to be the boys on the NWKL tournament. They will be taking on Dighton, a familiar team, the last team they faced on January 7th. They lost that one. Looking to get some vengeance when we come back.
Blue Stem Medical's primary care physicians, Dr. Michael Mackin, Dr. Doug Gruenbacher, Dr. Shelley Gruenbacher, Dr. Scott Rempel, Dr. Anna Rempel, and nurse practitioner Glenda Wheeler provide medical assistance for the entire family. Their amazing staff provides services for all ages, including OB, sick and well visits, televisits, physicals, immunizations, and minor procedures. Visit them at 501 Garfield Street in Quinter, or give them a call at 785-754-3333 to book your next appointment. Blue Stem Medical, delivering beneficial care for Northwest Kansas and a proud supporter of Bulldog Athletics.
Solinsky Land and Cattle Inc. of Park, Kansas proudly supports all Bulldog activities and Bulldog athletics. Kelly and Curtis are lifelong residents of Gove County and have farmed for over 30 years. They proudly run their family business. The Solinskys operate a small livestock feed yard while also growing wheat and corn. Keeping up with the best practices, they incorporate no-till farming in the operation to the greatest extent possible. Solinsky Land and Cattle would like to congratulate the Bulldogs on the tremendous accomplishments of this year and wish them the best of luck.
Providing clients with the knowledge they deserve and the coverage they desire, Kendra Salyers Barnes with Farm Bureau Financial Services specializes in excellent customer service, integrity, and accountability. She has dedicated over 20 years to serving Northwest Kansas communities. For all your insurance and financial needs, call or stop by the offices to see Kendra at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Hoxie at 785-675-3661 or in Quinter 785-754-3641. Farm Bureau Financial Services, here to help you protect what matters most in life.
Kaiser Angus supports the Bulldogs in their academic and athletic achievement. Kaiser Angus is owned and operated by Daryl and Frina Kaiser. They have served many ranchers in the area and farmed in Gove County since 1990. The Kaisers offer and sell registered Black Angus cattle. They also look forward to being your new seed stock source. Look for their annual production sale the first Thursday in April. More information can be found at KaiserAngus.com. Kaiser Angus is proud to support the Bulldogs in this tough year and looks forward to many more accomplishments to come.
Gove County Medical Center would like to welcome podiatrist Dr. Robert Hens, who is now accepting new patients. This means you can receive high specialized care for many foot conditions such as sports injuries, foot and ankle pain, bunions, and many more. With Dr. Hens and on-staff providers, GCMC hopes to serve as a premier facility for podiatry. By extending this care in Quinter, you will not need to travel for your podiatry needs. Gove County Medical Center, dedicated to healing through caring. We are GCMC.
A healthy smile is the goal for every patient at Blackwood Family Dentistry. For over 18 years, Dr. Blackwood and his staff have been offering comprehensive care to patients of all ages. Dr. Blackwood is your hometown provider for all treatment options to maintain and restore your oral health. So if you are a new patient or want convenient family scheduling, make an appointment at Blackwood Family Dentistry, proud supporter of Bulldog academics and athletics.
Back in Quinter, you see it there. Final score of the girls' matchup, Quinter 45, Ness City 38. Quinter moves on to play in the varsity gym on Friday. They will play Decatur Community at 6 o'clock right here on this YouTube channel as well. Some final scoring statistics from that first game you just watched. First, for the Eagles of Ness City, they were led in scoring with 21 points. Hannah Delaney, the junior, really took over in the second half. Behind her, it was Danae Rodriguez with 9. Annette Robledo had 7. And Mackenzie Tillotson had 1 for the 38 points for the Eagles. And for the host Bulldogs, Quinter was led in scoring by sophomore Kennedy Worth. She had 18 points. Behind her, Bryn Gillespie and Kelsey Solinsky each had 7 points. Ava Gillespie had 2 threes for 6 points on the contest. And Kashlyn Kwasniewska finished with 5 points, possibly 5 of the most clutch points in the contest, coming late in the fourth to tie it up, and then free throws to secure the game at the end. Final again, 45-38. Boys game coming at you in roughly 12 and a half minutes. It's going to be Quinter and Dighton, a rematch from the most previous contest for the Bulldogs. We'll see you in a few.
USD 293 Quinter Public Schools has a long and storied history. The current elementary and high school buildings were constructed in 1923 and 1939 respectively. That is a lot of footsteps within these hallways and a wealth of memories. The current students of Quinter have continued the practice of high achievement that was established so long ago. In the 2021 school year, despite the ravages of a pandemic, Quinter students excelled across the board. Quinter saw its first 4th grade student qualify for the State Festival in Music. 19 junior high and high school students qualified for the District Festival, and 7 more qualified for state in music, band, and piano. And it was a Quinter Bulldog that sang the national anthem to open the state track meet last May. Despite its size, Quinter continues to provide a full curriculum that includes art, woods, and vocational agriculture. The FFA judging team placed third in the region, and the school witnessed a National Student of the Week winner in art. And it was Quinter students that swept the league art show, with first, second, and third place finishes, not only at the high school division, but in junior high as well. Football, volleyball, cross country, and basketball produced 12 all-league performers, 2 all-district, and 3 honorable mention all-state, and 1 all-state athlete, while track sent 12 athletes to the state meet. Cross country sent both the boys and girls teams to state, with 3rd and 7th place finishes respectively. And last spring, Quinter seniors earned over $728,000 in scholarship money. Here at Quinter, we recognize effort and revel in the excellence that effort brings. Go Bulldogs! Quinter Elementary School was constructed in 1923. The current music room and cafeteria were added in 1953. And in 1965, a set of additional classrooms were added to the south end of the building. The final classrooms were added in 1985 to accommodate a growing student population. The tile floors and steam pipes for the heating system originally installed in 1923 are still in use today. That is how well she was built. Unfortunately, after 100 years, the problems are beginning to pile up. The school has flooded 3 times in the past 4 years due to old water lines deteriorating and breaking. Water now regularly seeps through the walls when it rains and into the building, causing interior walls to crack, chip, and peel. Tornado shelters, unfortunately, consist of ground floor hallways and rooms because dedicated storm shelters were never constructed. There is not a single aspect of the original building that is ADA compliant. Stairways extend into the hallway, stair rails are too low, and restrooms still utilize the original drain pipes from 1923. The original builders of this school should be proud. They built her extremely well. But after nearly 100 years of use, this flagship of the community is finally beginning to feel her age. The school now needs your help in deciding how we can ensure that the next 100 years are as successful as the last. Here at Quinter, the community has always taken great pride in the school's facilities, and rightly so. Quinter is one of the few 1A schools left that has 2 full-size gymnasiums, an auditorium, and an all-weather track. Phase 2 of the facilities review has determined a number of upgrades that need to occur if Quinter is going to continue to lead in northwest Kansas. The parking lot is small, has inadequate lighting, and doesn't fully accommodate parking for all events. Cracks in the foundation and brickwork of the school widen just a bit more every year. Bleachers for the football and track are outdated and not ADA compliant. And the poles used for lighting on the field are over 70 years old. Every year, the ravages of weather deteriorate the track at an ever more rapid pace. Quinter is chosen annually to host a wide range of events. Those events bring visitors and dollars to this community. The school is now approaching a crossroads, and we need your help in deciding just exactly which way we go.
you've really got the tale of two cities right here. You got the ramp coming in, so you can come in with your wheelchair here, and that's as far as you're going to go.
2 years ago, the school district established a facilities committee made up of parents, community members, and consultants. That committee developed a 3-phase plan for improving the facilities both outside and in. Phase 1 consisted of a complete inspection of all components of the facilities. Phase 2 consists of reviewing these findings and sharing them with you, the public at large. And that is the purpose of these videos. In Phase 3, the district will develop a plan of action to address these needs and solicit input from the community. With this plan, the district is working to secure the future for this community and this school, both for this generation and generations yet to come.
Blue Stem Medical's primary care physicians, Dr. Michael Mackin, Dr. Doug Gruenbacher, Dr. Shelley Gruenbacher, Dr. Scott Rempel, Dr. Anna Rempel, and nurse practitioner Glenda Wheeler provide medical assistance for the entire family. Their amazing staff provides services for all ages, including OB, sick and well visits, televisits, physicals, immunizations, and minor procedures. Visit them at 501 Garfield Street in Quinter, or give them a call at 785-754-3333 to book your next appointment. Blue Stem Medical, delivering beneficial care for Northwest Kansas and a proud supporter of Bulldog Athletics.
Solinsky Land and Cattle Inc. of Park, Kansas proudly supports all Bulldog activities and Bulldog athletics. Kelly and Curtis are lifelong residents of Gove County and have farmed for over 30 years. They proudly run their family business. The Solinskys operate a small livestock feed yard while also growing wheat and corn. Keeping up with the best practices, they incorporate no-till farming in the operation to the greatest extent possible. Solinsky Land and Cattle would like to congratulate the Bulldogs on the tremendous accomplishments of this year and wish them the best of luck.
Providing clients with the knowledge they deserve and the coverage they desire, Kendra Salyers Barnes with Farm Bureau Financial Services specializes in excellent customer service, integrity, and accountability. She has dedicated over 20 years to serving Northwest Kansas communities. For all your insurance and financial needs, call or stop by the offices to see Kendra at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Hoxie at 785-675-3661 or in Quinter 785-754-3641. Farm Bureau Financial Services, here to help you protect what matters most in life.
Kaiser Angus supports the Bulldogs in their academic and athletic achievement. Kaiser Angus is owned and operated by Daryl and Frina Kaiser. They have served many ranchers in the area and farmed in Gove County since 1990. The Kaisers offer and sell registered Black Angus cattle. They also look forward to being your new seed stock source. Look for their annual production sale the first Thursday in April. More information can be found at kaiserangus.com. Kaiser Angus is proud to support the Bulldogs in this tough year and looks forward to many more accomplishments to come.
Gove County Medical Center would like to welcome podiatrist Dr. Robert Hens, who is now accepting new patients. This means you can receive high specialized care for many foot conditions such as sports injuries, foot and ankle pain, bunions, and many more. With Dr. Hens and on-staff providers, GCMC hopes to serve as a premier facility for podiatry. By extending this care in Quinter, you will not need to travel for your podiatry needs. Gove County Medical Center, dedicated to healing through caring. We are GCMC.
A healthy smile is the goal for every patient at Blackwood Family Dentistry. For over 18 years, Dr. Blackwood and his staff have been offering comprehensive care to patients of all ages. Dr. Blackwood is your hometown provider for all treatment options to maintain and restore your oral health. So if you are a new patient or want convenient family scheduling, make an appointment at Blackwood Family Dentistry, proud supporter of Bulldog academics and athletics.
Hello, I'm Levi Gibbs, Western Kansas Regional President for Equity Bank.
And I'm Chad Churchwell, commercial lender, Quinter, Kansas. Equity means more.
More response,
More attention.
more expertise. We are proud to support the communities in which we live and serve.
And we are proud to support all of the Quinter athletic teams and we wish you the best of luck.
Stop by and see us for all your banking needs. Go Bulldogs!
Family Market in downtown Quinter is here to provide fuel for Bulldogs of all ages. Come in and check out our variety of fresh produce, the large selection from the meat department, or food from the deli section. Offering weekly specials, Family Market has your family covered. Shop local, where we provide friendly smiles, a warm welcome, and service you can't find elsewhere. Family Market, a locally owned grocery store, is a proud supporter of all things Bulldog and Bulldog athletics.
Thinking snacks, refreshing sips, Quinter Pit Stop just north of I-70 in Quinter has this and more. From fuel to your favorite snacks, and not to mention daily lunch specials and fresh pizza, new owners Travis and Kristen Haldeman and their staff welcome you to their store 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and until 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Stop in or call the Quinter Pit Stop at 785-754-3707. Proud supporters of Bulldog Athletic.
Welcome back, basketball fans. Still here at Quinter High School, the Doghouse, the host of this year's Northwest Kansas League basketball tournament. Had a first matchup for you earlier where the Quinter girls took on the Ness City Eagles and won that one 45-38. But right now, the men's contest coming at you. It's the Quinter Bulldogs playing as the visitor on the scoreboard this evening, but on their home court against the higher-seeded visitors to their home, the Dighton Hornets. Dighton Hornets are actually the last opponent that the Quinter Bulldogs faced 2 Fridays ago, Kale. Final score of that one was about a 15-point deficit in favor of the Hornets out of Dighton. Dighton also the same school that knocked Quinter out of the playoffs during football season. Very familiar matchup, this matchup that we have for you in the premiere between the Hornets and the Bulldogs. Kale, you know a little bit more about what this matchup means, not only for the Northwest Kansas League tournament, but just for the pride of the Bulldogs. Talk to us a little bit about what this game's going to mean for Quinter.
I mean, I helped with the football team, and when they played the first time, they felt really well with a 44-26 win, but in the playoffs, I feel like they didn't bring it as well as, and it really kind of hurted them, as right now, they're really just fighting for pride and to just keep moving on, as one of their main lines when they get into the tournaments is survive and advance, and they always say it, and so we'll see if they can survive and advance tonight, as this is definitely going to be one of their tougher opponents, the 2 seed in the tournament, going up next to potentially play Ness City and then play Greeley County. It's not going to be an easy road for the Bulldogs, and that one could really help them with a mistake to start it off, really could.
You talked about the energy a little bit, Kale, and to start this one, something I haven't seen from the Bulldogs yet this year as Dighton opens up the scoring. It's Carson Scheimer with 2, but in home games this year, I haven't really seen it, but the huddle after the starters were announced and the way that they all yelled with each other as if it was a football huddle, I think that's going to be the difference for this team, starting with a little bit more energy rather than having to work from behind and gain the energy as you try to fight your way back into the game. As Scheimer, who scored the first 2 for the Hornets, is fouled on the second possession.
As there also could be a little bit of revenge on the Dighton side, as when they came to the Castle Rock Classic last year, losing 66-22. This could be another type of revenge game.
Scheimer's first free throw is good. First attempt, first shots at the charity stripe for Scheimer and the Hornets. Just 30 seconds into this contest. And the second free throw, very high arcing, nice looking textbook shot from Carson Scheimer. The high arc on that one gets the friendly roll, and it's a 4-0 lead that the Hornets have opened up.
And definitely if you are the Bulldogs, you're going to want to keep it close, as that's just something you can't do, assuming that somebody's going to be there, because more than not, your opponent's going to be there, as you got to know where they're going to be at and just pass it to where they are instead of passing it where they're going to be, as that one kind of gave the Bulldogs a little bit of a lucky roll there, as off of many people there, as Bulldogs will get it.
It was a good move by Riedel with the hesitation crossover to create some space, get into the lane, but the pass to Havlis wasn't ideal. Nonetheless, off the inbound, it goes in the favor of the Bulldogs. Polifka will put Quinter on the board first.
And another thing to look out for, the last time these two teams played, it was probably as low of a scoring as the first half can get. And the Bulldogs definitely going to try and keep it from going like that. And they're going to get a charge call, and that one's really going to fire up the Bulldogs there, as the Bulldogs always looking forward to a charge. And that one really could give them some momentum there, as already Zane Beckner into the game.
It was a really good job by Braden Polifka with the big body being listed at, around the 4 or the 5 spot, and stepping in underneath the point guard to take the charge from Jaden Coleman is ideal for a big man.
And they're stepping up to try and take this pass, a pump fake and get it to him back door to dish it out and get maybe another pass for an easy layup, as Bulldogs just got to be aware and be careful of what they're doing. A lot of bounce passes. There's a chest pass to Grunbacher in the corner, just off. Beckner got the rebound, off again. Riedel may have been wrapped up a little bit there as he misses, but no foul call, and Hornets will come down with the ball, as looking for something to start up their offense.
It's a really good look by the Bulldog offense, as the Hornets are playing a zone defense against the Bulldogs. And in that last possession, they set a screen on the outside zone man and had the open 3 look off of it. 2 blocks in a row from Riedel right there down low. Offensive rebound kicked out to the Hornets. Still fighting for it off another missed shot. Scheimer again goes down low, gets this one through some contact. No call, good finish from Carson Scheimer.
And Riedel tried to take it lane to lane, but Travels got an extra step in before he decided to kick it out there, as just got to be aware of position, how many steps you've took, what you're doing, and what time and how much you're down. Just being aware of your surroundings, time, and score, as that one will be huge down the stretches. That was something that the Bulldogs couldn't really do.
Checking in for the Bulldogs at this first dead ball is going to be Trevor Kaiser, as well as Avery Briggs. Grunbacher playing the on-ball defense. Bulldogs playing man-to-man. Good first possession that time, but a better offensive look for Scheimer, and it's going to be a loose ball foul against the Hornets. Scheimer specifically, after he missed the shot, got a little bit aggressive going for the rebound, and they're going to get him with the contact. It's weird looking at the scoreboard, as Quinter is the visitor on the scoreboard since they're the lower seed in the bracket. Down 2-8 right now, 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
As you saw Trevor Kaiser kind of get it tipped away from him, he'll throw it right back out to Kyler Johnson for the 3. Just missed it, as go right in the lane there. And that's just an easy shot, as makes the deficit 8 for the Bulldogs here, as 2 passes and one of them off target there, as now Hornets will come down. Bounce pass to the block, and that's just an easy shot, but he does miss it. And Trevor Kaiser does a nice job of wrapping up the ball, as Coach John Chris will take a 30-second timeout.
Gain some composure for the guys. We'll take a quick one with him with 4:15 left to go. We'll be right back.
Kansas Land Bank is a locally owned community bank supporting community and school events. They are a full-service bank offering everything from ag loans to personal savings and checking accounts. Kansas Land Bank has a friendly staff that provides that personal touch. As one of the few locally owned community banks left in western Kansas, they strive to serve the needs of the people in our area. Kansas Land Bank remains a proud supporter of all Bulldog activities.
Back in Quinter, read you some of our sponsors for tonight's ball games. Blackwood Family Dentistry, Kaiser Angus, Solinsky Land and Cattle Company, and Smoky Hill Ag are some of tonight's sponsors for this doubleheader. We come out of the timeout. It was Bulldog ball. They go across the timeline, turn it over in the half court, and the ball goes right back to the Hornets, looking to extend on this already 8-point lead.
And you could see just a bobble there. Just even not securing the ball really will give the Hornets back the ball, as they're quick and they will swipe at it, as So will the Bulldogs, and they just missed on getting that one back as another loose ball. Kaiser does a nice job of wrapping it up, and just a little bit of a bad pass there. Another missed shot. And right now, both teams just need to emphasize on knocking down their shots there. And that one was rejected, but a travel called before.
I like the aggression that time from Zane Beckner to really look to get in and look for a better opportunity closer to the rim rather than the jump shots. The jump shots have been open to this point, but just need to see one go down, and it's a lot easier to get one go down the closer you are to the basket. Like the aggression from Beckner, just a little bit too much.
And here comes man-to-man press from the Bulldogs. Will not stop the Hornets from getting right into the lane. It's a 10-point lead for them now. And definitely a higher scoring game than was the first game. And maybe this wasn't such a great idea. Maybe keep it low on scoring, make it a 6 to 8 point game heading into second quarter, and maybe change it from then.
You know, we like to see the Bulldogs like to get out and run quite a bit, Kale, and very often you don't see them set up in the half court, and that might be the game plan this evening as Havlis misses a wide open three in the corner off the inbound, but might have to see the Bulldogs play some more half court offense tonight and really try to get some play calls executed and set up in the half court against a good Dighton defense, and a better three right there from Daniel Kramer with 5 now after that three-pointer.
And a swipe and a steal there as that one. Trying to watch out for him. He's quick and he can definitely shoot it, and he's quick with his dribbles too. Very emphasized on dedicated to basketball as we're gonna get a charge on Riedel, and he doesn't like the call. And Braden Polifka kind of having some words with him.
Rito's getting a little bit of a talk from a separate official on the other side of the ball, and I think that official's coming in to kind of let him know. Got some confusion. We thought we had a timeout. Looks like we might have some subs. And we are going to get a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout after a standstill here at the Doghouse. It's 15-2, Hornets on top of the Bulldogs.
Smoky Hill Ag is your precision ag service dealer. They offer customized agronomy for your farm, providing precision fertilizer applications with custom chemical blends. Smoky Hill Ag will create recommendations specific to each farmer's needs. With local service and competitive prices over the past 15 years, Smoky Hill Ag provides local ownership, management, and employment with community involvement. Trust them for all of your customized agronomy needs. Smoky Hill Ag, a loyal supporter of Quinter High School.
Back in Quinter, almost through the first quarter, and it's been all Hornets to this point, 15-2. The second-seeded Hornets here in the NWKL on top of the seventh-seeded Bulldogs. Dighton came into tonight's contest with a record of 7-3 through 10 games and through 7 games and some cancellations and postponements for the Bulldogs. Currently at a standing of 2-5, but 3 of those 5 losses, Kale, within 5 points for the Bulldogs. So they've played some really competitive, really close games to this point, but right now it's all Hornets.
And definitely, as you say, the Bulldogs a lot better than their record shows. It, I feel like they have just kind of lacked in the places that is needed, as the Hornets right now really trying to push the gas pedal and make this a big lead, as with a 13-point lead in the first quarter, if you can hold the Bulldogs to, say, under 5 points, this would really help the Hornets out. But Bulldogs got to get moving. Kick to the corner, doesn't shoot the three. Polifka does a nice job of making him kick it out, as with a big body. That's really huge for the Bulldogs. Is back to the corner, as looking like a 2-3 zone here, switched to by the Bulldogs with a kind of man-to-man switch. Just off, Polifka saves it out to Grunbacher, as not a lot of starters in for the Bulldogs right now, as you saw. Bradley Riedel kind of talking to the ref, may have close to getting a technical foul, as Gonna get a jump ball there. Stay with the Bulldogs, and maybe a smart move by the Hornets to make them use their jump ball now. They get the ball at second quarter, and there goes Havlis with a pump fake. He'll get blocked twice, and they'll get a jump ball. With that long, lengthy body, can't really do anything about that. That's just what made him so good, as just gotta get him in the air and go around him, as that's gonna have to be the Bulldogs' plan, and maybe a double dribble or travel there, but it doesn't matter, as the Bulldogs will get it right back.
You mentioned it, Kale. Right now we're seeing a different look for the Bulldogs. It's two freshmen on the floor for the Bulldogs right there, as two easy ones for Jaden Coleman on the layup. But two freshmen right now, Trace Kinderknecht. We haven't seen a lot of him this season, as well as Ethan Gruenbacher, the younger brother to Eli, as both of them on the floor. Eli Gruenbacher on the floor, Preston Havlis and Braden Polifka as well. Polifka's jumper good from the elbow. Good looking jump shot for the second basket of the night for the Bulldogs. Polifka's got all 4 of the points for Quinter. As Dighton goes the other way, that shot contested, no good from Max Neely, and it's Bulldogs the other way. The freshman look might be it right now for the Bulldogs, as Ethan Gruenbacher pulls the trigger on the 3. No good. 3 seconds in the quarter. Hornets the other way, stolen. Ball's just thrown ahead. Nice job by the freshman Kinderknecht on the hustle, and he ends the quarter with the ball through the baseline. It's 17-4. Dighton Hornets up on the Quinter Bulldogs right now.
Blue Stem Medical's primary care physicians, Dr. Michael Mackin, Dr. Doug Gruenbacher, Dr. Shelley Gruenbacher, Dr. Scott Rempel, Dr. Anna Rempel, and nurse practitioner Glenda Wheeler provide medical assistance for the entire family. Their amazing staff provides services for all ages, including OB, sick and well visits, televisits, physicals, immunizations, and minor procedures. Visit them at 501 Garfield Street in Quinter, or give them a call at 785-754-3333 to book your next appointment. Blue Stem Medical, delivering beneficial care for Northwest Kansas and a proud supporter of Bulldog Athletics.
Back in Quinter after 1 quarter of play, mentioned it, Hornets up on the Bulldogs 17-4. Hornets technically the home team in tonight's contest, wearing their white jerseys with the orange and black trim and lettering, whereas the Bulldogs are the visitors on the scoreboard tonight, wearing their red with white trim rather than the contrary white with red trim that we normally see them at home. I made a mistake prior to the break. My good friend Cale Hargett has let me know that Trace Kinderknecht and Ethan Gruenbacher, sophomores, not freshmen, still young talent nonetheless, but sophomores. Give them a little bit of credit for their age. As we inbound here, it's Quinter basketball to start the second quarter, and it'll be the same 4 of the same 5 from the end of last quarter. We'll see Kyler Johnson in place of Eli Gruenbacher. But Havlis, Polifka, Ethan Gruenbacher, as the pass from Polifka to Havlis looked really good, but can't convert down low. Havlis kind of buries himself underneath the rim, and it'll be Dighton basketball.
As right now the Bulldogs, I feel like they're trying to slow their offenses. Both offenses kind of looking the same, kind of a cut and pass type of look, but Dighton keeps a high post, and he knocks down the 15-footer as they're going to feed it to Polifka, out to Preston Havlis, in and out. That one would have gave Bulldogs a little bit of momentum. Some on-ball pressure from Trace Kinderknecht will definitely help out, as a little bit of a mismatch, as you'll see Bulldogs hurrying to get back into play, as missed shot will give the Bulldogs the ball.
Bulldogs the other way now. Havlis back and forth between Havlis and Ethan Gruenbacher. Havlis kicks out. Kinderknecht shot fake in 3, no good. A good look again for the Bulldogs offense, just can't buy a bucket right now. Trailing by 15 with 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll see Lakin Getz head to the scorer's table, see if he can create a presence on offense for the Bulldogs.
And maybe we'll see something like the girls' game, as maybe they'll come from behind to make it a close game, and maybe do what Ness City couldn't and make it a Bulldog win, as that would really help out. In a long pass I thought was going to go into the hands of Daniel Kramer, but instead it will be to Kyler Johnson, who passes it to Preston Havlis for an and one on a layup, as this one could give the Bulldogs some momentum and really help them out.
Bulldogs really finding themselves offensively right now. They've had a few really good looks at the basket on the last few possessions. Preston Havlis doing a really good job flashing to the open part of the painted area and creating some looks and opportunities from down low. And he's rewarded here. Gets the basket and the foul, looking for an old-fashioned three-point play.
And it is good as Lakin gets in for Preston Havlis. We'll have a little bit of a timeout for a shoe as Bulldogs in a press here. As nice job of taking their time are the Hornets, as they are really very patient on the offensive side. As on the defensive side, they'll turn it up and make you play quicker than them, as Bulldogs will foul.
Figure out who they're going to get this one on.
Fourth team foul. It will be on number 12, Trace Kinderconnect. Only his first. Both teams with 3 fouls. So a nice job from both teams to keep themselves out of foul trouble, something that we saw the Quinter Bulldogs for the girls' side could not do. As you can see, Kyler Johnson sinking back and taking 2 Dighton Hornets with them as take them out of the question for just a bit, but it will not matter as still get the 2 points, 21-7.
Got a football score right now, and what was a football matchup twice this year between these two schools.
And might anger some of the Bulldogs players by saying that, as it will stay with the Bulldogs. They're definitely trying to forget what happened to them in the playoffs. As another thing though is Bulldogs very young, only losing quarterback Jaden Boone, who was out for almost half of the year, broke his thumb and then tore his ACL middle of the season. And wide receiver Bradley Riedel, as definitely a very young both basketball and football team, as a lot of youth for the Quinter Bulldogs coming up, but right now they have to be in go mode to kind of put away this 14-point deficit, as trying to set up a trap will give it a 4-on-5, and that's an open 3. That will be made all day.
That was Daniel Kramer with the 3 right there, and you mentioned it earlier how shifty he was and how good he was with his dribble. Kramer, a freshman on the Dighton roster, looks really good for being really young.
And the Bulldogs still trying to get away from another football score, as trying to look, they'll swing it back to Grunbacher. A nice pump fake. They'll get it into Lakin Getz, and that one's stolen by Daniel Kramer, as we'll push it up the floor. Nice pass back to him, give and go. And another timeout taken by Coach John Christ. I don't think he's going to be too happy if he has to call another one, as Bulldogs trail 26-7.
Solinsky Land and Cattle Inc. of Park, Kansas proudly supports all Bulldog activities and Bulldog athletics. Kelly and Curtis are lifelong residents of Gove County and have farmed for over 30 years. They proudly run their family business. The Solinskys operate a small livestock feed yard while also growing wheat and corn. Keeping up with the best practices, they incorporate no-till farming in the operation to the greatest extent possible. Solinsky Land and Cattle would like to congratulate the Bulldogs on the tremendous accomplishments of this year and wish them the best of luck.
26-7 the score right now. The Hornets on top of the Bulldogs. We're currently in the middle of a Coach John Christ full timeout, and it has been a full momentum shift in favor of the Hornets as they came out of this one hot, and it has been all in their favor to this point. Kale started the game on a 10-2 run, was 6-0 before the Bulldogs finally got a bucket, and right now only 2 players on the Bulldogs roster with buckets. Braden Polifka, Preston Havlis, both with buckets of their own. Havlis only with 1, Polifka with 2, giving the Bulldogs their 7 right now, and they've got to find something offensively.
As right now, just be patient. You've got a lot of time left. You're going to have to play with some aggression, but you got to have your shots start falling and take care of the ball while you're at it. And force some turnovers, as Dighton will make one error right there, just kind of off balance. And with the 2-3 zone, they're going to look at a high post type of action there, as they'll skip it to Beckner. And with the vertical of Daniel Kramer, it's going to be hard to get it into that high post, as both posts going for it there, and that one just kind of mental error for both Trevor Kaiser and Lakin Getz is high off the glass there, as it was missed, and another missed pass and just a bad pass.
Right idea for the Bulldogs there. Kyler Johnson was in the front court ready for the pass to come, and Lakin Getz turned and gave it just a little bit too much oomph on the pass, throws that one all the way through, and it's Hornet basketball again. And Kale, we talked about earlier, these 2 teams playing clean basketball, only 3 fouls against the 2 of them. It's just the ball security for the Bulldogs hasn't been there, and they have turned it over a bunch of times. Loose ball there, had 2 Bulldogs collide into the legs of Max Neely on that loose ball, and he gets up a little gimpy.
And something he kind of would be used to, being the Dighton quarterback, as should be kind of used to it, but here going into basketball season, not as used to it as he usually is in football, as Riedel will drive it right into the 2-3 zone, fakes a couple of passes, and scores the bucket that's wide open, as Bulldogs will definitely need more of that. That one's tipped off the fingers of Eli Grunbacher, and Hornets were reading that one as double dribble called. That is a very good call, as could just barely tell that he rolled the ball, and that will count as your dribble, as wasn't thinking of it as tried to hide it, as Bulldogs will get the ball back.
And even I question that one a little bit, because Preston Havlis ran by right as the ball kind of hit the floor, and Kramer picked it up and dribbled it again, and the official on the opposite side knew right away. In rhythm 3, Eli Gruenbacher, no good. Dighton basketball, a couple of good looks now for the Quinter offense. They might get something going here if they can make a few more stops.
Pass it cross court to Neely. We'll go right back cross court. Top of the key. Back over to the wing. Pump fake. Swiped. And a nice job to pass it before you get called on the travel. Charge going to be called. Riedel down, and so is
Coleman, and Jaden Coleman for the Hornets. The one, number 1 in white, went down, and the charge called against Riedel that time, and letting his body language show his emotions after that call. Could have went either way, as he went up, and still some bodies moving on the block charge call.
As you could see, he was a little bit shaken up. Back out to the elbow. That one is good. As trying to open it up. As trying to close it in aren't the Bulldogs. As it will stay with the Bulldogs off a deflected pass.
We talked a little bit with Preston Havlis before the girls' game even. He came up and had a few words for us before tonight's game, and we asked him about the offensive struggles during the last time they played Dighton, only put up 9 in the first half. And right there, Avery Briggs, nice little turnaround jumper to eclipse that total of 9 here in the first half. So not going to finish with 9 in the first. Riedel gets a steal, almost had a good entry pass down low, but freshman Daniel Kramer disguised himself behind some of the Quinter Bulldogs and snuck in and make that steal.
And somebody you may have not noticed, on the court, Gus Bridges twisted his ankle and torn some ligaments in his leg. So a huge missing player for the Bulldogs, and that one, a good pass to nobody there for the Hornets as Bulldogs got to capitalize off this one.
Yeah, some miscommunications on the backdoor cut there. Didn't commit to the cut the way the passer did, and we're under a minute now in the first half to 40 seconds. It's 28-11. Hornets on top in Quinter. Eli Gruenbacher can't get that one to go. Hornets get the rebound. 30 seconds now. We'll see if they hold for a final shot or if they'll get it across the timeline and try to go 2 for 1.
And going back to that rebound, it may have been called a travel. I could see the pivot foot came up, but not in the angle of the refs, as it will turn into a layup for Dighton as Quinter they're gonna hold for the final shot. It's about 5 seconds left now to Briggs. Just off. Polifka. And Havlis can't get the shot off before halftime. Your score, Dighton 30, Quinter 11.
We'll be right back after just a few minutes. Talk about the first half, preview the second half. Thanks for listening.
Providing clients with the knowledge they deserve and the coverage they desire, Kendra Salyers Barnes with Farm Bureau Financial Services specializes in excellent customer service, integrity, and accountability. She has dedicated over 20 years to serving Northwest Kansas communities. For all your insurance and financial needs, call or stop by the offices to see Kendra at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Hoxie at 785-675-3661 or in Quinter 785-754-3641. Farm Bureau Financial Services, here to help you protect what matters most in life.
Kaiser Angus supports the Bulldogs in their academic and athletic achievement. Kaiser Angus is owned and operated by Daryl and Frina Kaiser. They have served many ranchers in the area and farmed in Gove County since 1990. The Kaisers offer and sell registered Black Angus cattle. They also look forward to being your new seed stock source. Look for their annual production sale the first Thursday in April. More information can be found at KaiserAngus.com. Kaiser Angus is proud to support the Bulldogs in this tough year and looks forward to many more accomplishments to come.
Gove County Medical Center would like to welcome podiatrist Dr. Robert Hens, who is now accepting new patients. This means you can receive high specialized care for many foot conditions such as sports injuries, foot and ankle pain, bunions, and many more. With Dr. Hens and on-staff providers, GCMC hopes to serve as a premier facility for podiatry. By extending this care in Quinter, you will not need to travel for your podiatry needs. Gove County Medical Center, dedicated to healing through caring. We are GCMC.
A healthy smile is the goal for every patient at Blackwood Family Dentistry. For over 18 years, Dr. Blackwood and his staff have been offering comprehensive care to patients of all ages. Dr. Blackwood is your hometown provider for all treatment options to maintain and restore your oral health. So if you are a new patient or want convenient family scheduling, make an appointment at Blackwood Family Dentistry, proud supporter of Bulldog academics and athletics.
Hello, I'm Levi Gibbs, Western Kansas Regional President for Equity Bank.
And I'm Chad Churchwell, commercial lender, Quinter, Kansas. Equity means more.
More response,
More attention.
more expertise. We are proud to support the communities in which we live and serve.
And we are proud to support all of the Quinter athletic teams and we wish you the best of luck.
Stop by and see us for all your banking needs. Go Bulldogs!
Family Market in downtown Quinter is here to provide fuel for Bulldogs of all ages. Come in and check out our variety of fresh produce, the large selection from the meat department, or food from the deli section. Offering weekly specials, Family Market has your family covered. Shop local, where we provide friendly smiles, a warm welcome, and service you can't find elsewhere. Family Market, a locally owned grocery store, is a proud supporter of all things Bulldog and Bulldog athletics.
Thinking snacks, refreshing sips, Quinter Pit Stop just north of I-70 in Quinter has this and more. From fuel to your favorite snacks and not to mention daily lunch specials and fresh pizza, new owners Travis and Kristen Haldeman and their staff welcome you to their store 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and until 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Stop in or call the Quinter Pit Stop at 785-754-3707. Proud supporters of Bulldog Athletic.
Kansas Land Bank is a locally owned community bank supporting community and school events. They are a full-service bank offering everything from ag loans to personal savings and checking accounts. Kansas Land Bank has a friendly staff that provides that personal touch. As one of the few locally owned community banks left in western Kansas, they strive to serve the needs of the people in our area. Kansas Land Bank remains a proud supporter of all Bulldog activities.
Smoky Hill Ag is your precision ag service dealer. They offer customized agronomy for your farm, providing precision fertilizer applications with custom chemical blends. Smoky Hill Ag will create recommendations specific to each farmer's needs. With local service and competitive prices over the past 15 years, Smoky Hill Ag provides local ownership, management, and employment with community involvement. Trust them for all of your customized agronomy needs. Smoky Hill Ag, a loyal supporter of Quinter High School.
Blue Stem Medical's primary care physicians, Dr. Michael Mackin, Dr. Doug Gruenbacher, Dr. Shelley Gruenbacher, Dr. Scott Rempel, Dr. Anna Rempel, and nurse practitioner Glenda Wheeler provide medical assistance for the entire family. Their amazing staff provides services for all ages, including OB, sick and well visits, televisits, physicals, immunizations, and minor procedures. Visit them at 501 Garfield Street in Quinter, or give them a call at 785-754-3333 to book your next appointment. Blue Stem Medical, delivering beneficial care for Northwest Kansas and a proud supporter of Bulldog Athletics.
It is halftime here in Quinter for the NWKL tournament hosted by the Bulldogs this year. Host Bulldogs down by 19 at halftime to Dighton. 30-11 the score. The Hornets, the home team on the scoreboard this evening, holding the number 2 seed in the NWKL, standing at 7-3 on the season. The Bulldogs currently 2-5. Trying to battle here for that third win, Kale, but first half scoring for the Bulldogs was limited. They were led by Braden Polifka, who only had 4. Preston Havlis finished with 3. He had the bucket and the free throw for the old-fashioned three-point play. And Bradley Riedel with the jumper from the free throw line concluded the first half scoring for the Bulldogs there, 11 points. And on the opposition for the Hornets, it has been all Dighton so far in this one. They're led in scoring by both Carson Scheimer, 6'3" sophomore, and Daniel Kramer, a 5'9" freshman, both of them with 10 already at the half. Behind them, Max Neely has 6, and Jaden Coleman with 4 for the Hornets. So they're scoring coming from limited options as well, but coming much more plentiful than the Bulldogs. Kale, in the second half, what does Quinter have to do not only to get some offensive possessions to go their way, but to slow down the Dighton offense as well?
I feel like they got to play more patient, but in a way that you can't take too much time off the clock. You can't be forcing passes into a conjoined area with, say, 3 people around Braden Polifka, which you have seen a couple of times to the high post that they have ran. Maybe kick it around a little bit, try and find him, move the zone around. As you can see, Dighton was playing a 2-3 zone. Maybe move the ball around, get the zone to shift, kick it to the high post when they're shifting, and then take it from there, high-low, low-high, whatever they wanted to run. That could really open up the Bulldog section. But if you are the Hornets, you definitely have to step it up, knowing that the Bulldogs are definitely going to step it up as well. And I feel like the first 3 minutes of this third quarter is really going to show who's out for blood and who's just going to lose.
First 3 minutes will be big indeed, and you mentioned it. Ball security and ball movement going to be the key for the Bulldog offense. Moving forward in this second half, got to get some better looks against the zone and some better ball security as a whole moving forward. 30-11 the score here in Quinter. Dighton on top, NWKL first round action. We'll be back in about a minute and a half with the second half of action. Again, 30-11 the score, Hornets on top here in Quinter.
Solinsky Land and Cattle Inc. of Park, Kansas proudly supports all Bulldog activities and Bulldog athletics. Kelly and Curtis are lifelong residents of Gove County and have farmed for over 30 years. They proudly run their family business. The Solinskys operate a small livestock feed yard while also growing wheat and corn. Keeping up with the best practices, they incorporate no-till farming in the operation to the greatest extent possible. Solinsky Land & Cattle would like to congratulate the Bulldogs on the tremendous accomplishments of this year and wish them the best of luck.
Providing clients with the knowledge they deserve and the coverage they desire, Kendra Salyers Barnes with Farm Bureau Financial Services specializes in excellent customer service, integrity, and accountability. She has dedicated over 20 years to serving Northwest Kansas communities. For all your insurance and financial needs, call or stop by the offices to see Kendra at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Hoxie at 785-675-3661 or in Quinter 785-754-3641. Farm Bureau Financial Services, here to help you protect what matters most in life.
Kaiser Angus supports the Bulldogs in their academic and athletic achievement. Kaiser Angus is owned and operated by Daryl and Frina Kaiser. They have served many ranchers in the area and farmed in Gove County since 1990. The Kaisers offer and sell registered Black Angus cattle. They also look forward to being your new seed stock source. Look for their annual production sale the first Thursday in April. More information can be found at kaiserangus.com. Kaiser Angus is proud to support the Bulldogs in this tough year and looks forward to many more accomplishments to come.
Back in Quinter, second half of action coming at you. If you joined us later, you're just now joining. I'm David Pratt, joined by Cale Hargett. First half of action was all Hornets. Dighton on top of Quinter on Quinter's home floor, the doghouse. Cale mentioned it a little bit later in the first half, a talking point that we didn't get to very much, with Dighton controlling a lot of the talking time in the first half, but Gus Bridges not on the floor for the Bulldogs. He got injured, took an ankle injury, currently wearing a boot on crutches on the sideline. Took that injury last time they played Dighton on the 7th of the new year, and Dighton comes out here to start the second half with a missed three-pointer, and it'll be Bulldogs the other way. This could be what they need to get back into this one.
And another thing to look out for is maybe overplaying these passes isn't such a great idea. It kind of gives them a 4-on-5, and usually you miss it, and every 10 times or so you get one, maybe two, and it really isn't a great thing because it could lead to even more points scored for the Hornets. Yeah, in a usual game you could do that, but I don't feel like you could do it in this type of situation, down 17.
Kyler Johnson's going to pick up the foul that time. Just got his hand interlocked with some other arms around the ball. It'll be Dighton basketball. They'll inbound to Scheimer, who had 10 in the first half. Carson Scheimer, that is, had 10 in the first half. So did Kramer, who's currently holding the ball right now.
Nice pass, give and go to Kramer. Rattles around and in. Definitely a great young player for the Hornets, and you'll see him from right now till next 3 to 4 years is definitely going to be somebody to watch out for as just a freshman. And another thing, Carson Scheimer, another person to look out for in the future, as I feel like those two could be a very good duo for the Hornets, but Bulldogs got to figure out a way to find those two out and make it a closer game as Polifka goes up. Johnson gets it to fall, rattles around there a bit.
Nice job by Johnson that time. He just followed the first shot that came out of the hands of Eli Grunbacher, or the pass that went down low, from Eli Grunbacher. He followed it, got the shot, and made the putback. And that's 4 for the Bulldogs to start the second half. They didn't have that in the first quarter.
And another thing for all you sprint car fans, Kyler Johnson just went down to the Chili Bowl in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Did pretty well, and definitely another driver to look out for in the future as well.
A little bit of driving information about Kyler Johnson. Thank you, Cale. As Riedel's at the line shooting free throws currently, can't get the first one to go. 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter, 6 to play. Riedel at the line for his second of 2. A rare sight there as Riedel goes 0 for 2, but Polifka gets the offensive rebound, and it's Bulldog basketball still. Another opportunity.
He wants revenge there, and possibly a charge could have been called there, so got to be very careful about what you throw at each team. Both teams can take charges and they will give up charges as well. Nice finish for Carson Scheimer. Potentially an and one could have been called, as that one is definitely a tough angle to see from. Is we have to give a lot of preps to the ref, as they do a lot of things that most people can't, and just knowing what they're looking for and how much they have to put up with is very nice, especially against some tough fans. And with all that hate, it really makes you not want to do it anymore, but it's people who love what they do really helps out the state of Kansas and these young high school players to maybe put them at the next level in college and potentially even the NBA.
Very well said there, Kale. As Havlis can't get that one to go. That would have been 2 in a row for Preston there. He came off the 3 on the last possession. Scheimer,
nice
another
shot.
easy one. Good job from Carson Scheimer. Just fought down low, battled, and kept flashing until finally somebody got him the ball, and he gets an easy 2.
It's an 18-point lead now. Bulldogs go inside, just missed. Can't get the rebound. As kick out up top. Dighton definitely in chew clock mode right now, is just kind of play aggressive, but also at the same time trying to rip off as much time as they can. Is another offensive call could have been called, trying to sell it a little bit there, as don't want to sell it too hard, as we saw in the girls Castle Rock Classic Championship a technical foul issued for a flop, as new rule that really is going to help out the game, as some players sometimes can really sell the charge.
Yeah, and you talked about it. The integrity of the game is one of those things that flop rule really protects, really prevents players from trying to sell the foul call, and allows them to play more direct, play basketball rather than come out and try to sell some contact and just go to the free throw line and shoot free throws. And so it'll be a really good moving forward. It'll increase the pace of play in ball games as well. You'll see less foul calls implemented after the no flop rule. You mentioned it. We saw it in the Castle Rock Classic tournament. We saw a technical foul imposed because of a flop. The inbound from Dighton there, going to go out of bounds on the shot. Coleman had it knocked away. It hit the underside of the basket, and it's going to stay with the Hornets. We'll set up in the corner. Had an open 3 opportunity. Drive that time from Max Neely. Knocked down the defender, Trevor Kaiser, but Trevor Kaiser can't get the foul call. Riedel can't keep that one in his hands, as he got a little bit excited, felt the defense at his hip. And you mentioned it at halftime, Kale, the ball security was going to be key for the Bulldogs in the second half. And so far we have not seen better ball security from the Bulldogs.
And I could tell there on Carson Scheimer, he got his jersey grabbed just a bit there, kind of untucking it. You could tell just barely, as intercepted. And Riedel, a bit angry, as he really going to have to watch what he does potentially, as early in that first quarter we saw him kind of a standstill to be talked to.
Yeah, he had a little bit of words for one of the officials that made a call against him, and he was quickly interrupted by another official, letting him know that basically if you want to talk back to an official, it's going to be an automatic technical, especially at this level, because the officials are doing nothing but trying to help you learn the game a little bit and understand why the calls are being made, when they're being made. So the officials don't like to hear anything really back from the players after they make a call. And you mentioned it, Kale, this Hornet offense is really in chew clock mode, as they've taken 30 seconds off the clock just right here off of the inbound from underneath the basket. Gets knocked out of bounds again, but they'll keep it again. So still Hornets basketball after taking off close to 40 seconds already.
And another thing to look for is Coach Matt Havlis talks about it all the time. He really loves to let his girls play. He doesn't like the whistle calls, as blocking foul. I think he was tripped there shaken up a bit, as slow to get up again as Riedel, as he's been beaten up this game. As right now,
yeah, he's calling for one as he walks over to the bench, holding his hip a little bit. See him there. Definitely felt the hardwood on that collision as he went to the ground and took a body on top of him while he was on the hardwood. So Zane Beckner will check in his absence.
As definitely a thing, Bulldogs going to really have to start going, but not at too quick of a level. As you see, Trevor Kaiser tried to go at too quick of a level, and Grunbacher was not ready for it, as kind of saw Zane Beckner grab the net there, as that could potentially get warned for a technical in the next time, get called for it there, as something you don't want to do there. As could have been just to stop him from falling, but even then, can't do it. As just about 2 minutes left in this third quarter, and not a lot of scoring, as the Hornets have did a great job of just putting this third quarter specifically on ice and just waiting and just taking the ball and putting it on the hardwood and just wasting clock. That one's tipped out off of Dighton. It will go with the Bulldogs, as with about 1:40 left, you gotta start moving it if you wanna win this one. And it is possible. An 18-point lead isn't that big if you put, let's say, 12 and make it 14, maybe 16 in the fourth quarter, and say 6 or 8 this quarter. You just kind of finish it off. Could become a potential thing, as Beckner hit the foul, had some contact, wanted to foul, but nothing called. As again, trying to set up that pass will make it a 4-on-5, need some help defenses. 1 minute left, and I would not be surprised to see if Dighton can really hold this one for almost all the rest of the quarter.
Yeah, under a minute now, and with no shot clock in high school basketball, Dighton really could, with the ball security that they've shown here in the second half, they really could hold this out for the remainder of the third quarter, go into the fourth with a 20-point lead, and it looks like that might be what they're doing. They haven't looked inside at all. Anything underneath the elbow hasn't even been thought of. Still in the corner, down to 25 seconds now. They started this possession with 1:05 on the clock. Hornets still just trying to take time off. 15 seconds now. Scheimer's going to drive against Kaiser, goes up, no basket, and it'll be Quinter basketball with 10 seconds. They'll get the last shot. Havlis up the floor, drives, kicks, corner. Avery Briggs' three will be just long. Kaiser on the putback as the buzzer goes off. No good, and it will be a 20-point contest through 3 quarters. The Dighton Hornets on top of the host Bulldogs, 38-18. We'll have the fourth quarter when we come back.
Gove County Medical Center would like to welcome podiatrist Dr. Robert Hens, who is now accepting new patients. This means you can receive high specialized care for many foot conditions such as sports injuries, foot and ankle pain, bunions, and many more. With Dr. Hens and on-staff providers, GCMC hopes to serve as a premier facility for podiatry. By extending this care in Quinter, you will not need to travel for your podiatry needs. Gove County Medical Center, dedicated to healing through caring. We are GCMC.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse at Quinter High School. I'd like to remind you of tonight's sponsors: Kendra Barnes at Farm Bureau Financial Services, Blue Stem Medical, Blackwood Family Dentistry, Kansas Land Bank, and a GG&T Cattle Company. The Worth families are proud supporters of the Quinter Bulldogs. Take this time also to remind you, to those of you listening on the YouTube channel right now, go ahead and click that subscribe button underneath the viewing screen. Go ahead and get the Quinter School channel to 1,000 subscribers, because if you do so, the high school and public schools can broadcast directly through YouTube and avoid using third-party software to do so. So if you can, please click subscribe underneath the viewing video. Fourth quarter of action underway, and Kale, we're going to look a little bit ahead right now. to Friday's matchups in the girls bracket, as they are all set. On the winner's side, it's going to be St. Francis against the Rollins County at 4:30 on Friday. And underneath them, it will be 6 o'clock in this varsity gym on the winner's side as well. Quinter and Decatur Community. Tell us a little bit about what you expect for the Quinter girls going into Friday.
Well, the Quinter girls definitely can have to score a lot more than they did against Ness City, as that one was really an ugly game for the girls, as if they can score more there. Is free throw on the way is good, as coming in they are an underdog and they're going to play like an underdog. They have nothing to lose, a 6 seed coming into Friday.
Kaiser at the line for his second of 2. Can't get that one to go. Decreases the lead now under 20. It's 19, 38 to 19. Hornets on top, 7.5 to go here in the fourth. And we talked about the girls tournament a little bit for Friday on the winner's side. And for the boys here, the winner of this contest would take on the winner of Ness City and Wallace County, which is currently going on in the JV gym right now. And just got an update from Kale that Ness City on top after the first quarter in that one, but right there you see a good bucket from Jaden Coleman on the backdoor cut. And Dighton forces a turnover again on the other end, and it's 40 to 19 now as we get under the 7-minute mark, and we'll probably see the Hornets get in a little bit more of that chew clock mode that we saw in the third quarter.
As another thing, going back to that girls matchup, is I watched a little bit of that game, and Decatur Community definitely will play at a quick level, and with the Bulldogs going at a quick level, if that's going to be an exchange blow game, I feel like the Bulldogs would win that one, but they have to come in prepared knowing that an underdog could come out of nowhere and potentially go to the championship, as we saw that in the first game of the day with Dighton against Rollins County. As early in the first and second quarter, it was back and forth for a while, as eventually Rollins County pulling it out as the winner. And you guys just got to be careful, because anyone can win coming into any given day, as there are going to be some matchups that are going to be easier for some teams, but at the same time, anyone can win on a given day.
That's why we play the games, right, Kale? Instead of taking their records and using that to advance the record. We play the games because, like you said, anybody can win on any given day, and it's proven twice today, as we saw the 6 seed upset the 3 seed and Decatur Community beating Greeley County, and you just mentioned the Dighton and Rollins County game as well. Under 6 minutes in this one now. It's 44-19, Hornets on top.
And Bulldogs kind of just playing to make it just as close of a game as they can, is kind of most of them know with their body language that they're just playing to put more points on the board, as a little bit of body language kind of tells them that they can't win, and that's not really the best mentality that you can have, as at any given moment with 5 minutes left, only down 22, that's 11 twos, is potentially a couple of threes would shorten it up a bit, as a very well-run press. And this man-to-man press has really been working out for the Bulldogs for a while. It could really help as Polifka gets a hand on that ball, as with 5:18 left, you're really just trying to put as many points on the board as you can if you're Dighton, just trying to chew the clock up.
Now, Kale, 2 Fridays ago, these two teams matched up in Dighton, and it was a closer contest than the one we're currently seeing. Quinter played it a little bit tighter in the first half, and really the second half, both teams exploded for some scoring, and Dighton came out on top. But that was the last game, and that was 2 Fridays ago. And do you think that the lack of game time for the Bulldogs over the last 2 weeks plays a factor in tonight's game and ultimately what will be the decision in this contest?
I feel like it does a little bit, but not that much, as they really wouldn't have had that much of a good competition like they would have if they played, say, Greeley County or someone like Ness City. As yeah, Wallace County could be a close game for them, but at the same time, I feel like going into a tournament as a lower seed, you know you have to play a better team someone like that to really give you some experience going into the tournament.
Does help knowing, or at least having a schedule leading up to the tournament that puts you up against some of the better opponents, not only in your league, but around this area as well, because we mentioned it earlier, Ness City not even in the NWKL, just wanted a few extra games, picked up this tournament, and girls didn't do so hot, so they'll get another game on Friday, get their wish exactly, play some more. Scheimer's going to go 1 for 2 at the line there. With 4:31 to go, it'll be Quinter basketball off the rebound. Scheimer's got 17 on the night now. Behind him, Kramer has 14 for the Hornets.
He's just moving the ball around right now, trying to get an open look, as had the corner open for just a second. As too late now, as Lifka went into the lane trying to get something, a jump ball and a nice hustle play. But it will stay with the Hornets. Just about 4:10 left in the game.
Yeah, the hustle play you mentioned is good to see still for the Bulldogs and for Coach Christ. If you're in this situation trailing by 24 with 4 minutes to go, and you can still see all 5 guys on the floor showing an above average level of intensity as well as, effort in the game, is always a plus to see for a head coach.
And a nice job by Kramer to pick up that ball, put his head down, and go to the rim, but it will not matter as rebound by the Bulldogs and Preston Havlis with a corner 3. And Avery Briggs caused a little bit of a fumble there, as just out of the hands of Bradley Riedel will give the Hornets back the ball.
Been a physical game to this point this evening. Both of these teams, we mentioned it a few times, familiar with each other, not only from basketball, already seeing each other once this year, but 2 contests between the 2 schools during football season as well. The familiarity between these 2 teams could either bring camaraderie between the 2 teams, or we've seen it a few times tonight, maybe some commotion between the 2 teams just because they are so familiar with one another. And quite frankly, when you get to that point in competition, you just get sick of your opponent. When you see them over and over and over, you just get sick of your opponent at that point. And at kind of the feel you got coming into this one from Quinter is that they're just tired of having to play Dighton. Whether the result is a win or a loss, they just don't want to play Dighton anymore just because of the repetitiveness of it.
And that's the thing, though, is that let's say that we take somebody like Oberlin and put them against Dighton, and instead of Quinter, we could have potentially a closer game, not just because, not saying Oberlin is better, it's just because that Dighton doesn't have the familiarity of playing Quinter compared to Oberlin, or say somebody else like Atwood, Greeley County, St. Francis, Wallace County. As you could put anyone against anyone at any time, and it would be different than playing a team that you just played.
Yeah, especially for the Bulldogs, considering that this is the opponent that they last saw when they took the floor and haven't taken the floor since, besides practices, as Kramer tries to go the distance coast to coast to break the press, and he gets fouled right at the end of his drive, and they'll call it on the floor rather than on the shot. See some substitutions, some new faces as well for the Bulldogs.
As Coach John Chris just kind of giving these younger Bulldogs some experience in a high-intensity game, not really high intensity, but just the feel of a league tournament on the line. As of right now, Bulldogs out of competition for the championship. They will play for the consolation championship with a loss. As nice pass there, but just a little bit too hard. Gets it back nonetheless. Look at a jump ball.
Get's not a big fan of that one because he thought that Neely was all over him. But the possession stays with the Bulldogs. Can't be too upset about that one. Getting the ball back, 2 minutes to go. In the corner now, had an open look for 3. Decided to go with the play call. Briggs won't take it after making the 3 on the last possession. Kinder Connect down low, gets after just checking in, finishes with the left, and it'll be a 30-second timeout for Coach Chris, Kale.
As That's definitely a nice bucket with the left hand off the glass, as that's pretty fundamental, and you can't really do anything better than that with a left-handed turn high off the glass. Just fundamental and great.
Especially just checking into the game, not seeing a lot of the hardwood so far to this point in the contest. 47-29 the score. Hornets on top of the Bulldogs in this one, just under 2 minutes to go in the contest. Implications of this game would equal, if Dighton continues on the pace they're at right now and win this contest, they will play in the same spot on Friday night at the same time of 7:30 right here in this gym, while Quinter will play at 7:30 in the JV gym against the loser of the Ness City Wallace County game, and Dighton would see the winner of that game right here at 7:30 on Friday as Kramer takes some contact at the midcourt, gets it up the floor, and two more easy ones for Neely and the Hornets.
And as of right now, Ness City leads 36-21. So the Bulldogs are going to get the matchup that just got canceled against Wallace County, while Dighton will play the Ness City Eagles. Definitely a very good team that could be a potential state competitor in Quinter Sub-State, as a thing to look forward to moving on for the boys is where could you place in Sub-State, as they're going to need a nice stretch of wins to really put them up there, as right now with the pace they're on, not going to be looking too hot going into Sub-State, but definitely a very hard schedule for them, as a very nice, a pretty loaded Castle Rock Classic with Pawnee Heights, Dighton, Wheatland Grinnell, and themselves. It's definitely a pretty loaded tournament, and looking forward, that will be a great tournament if teams stay in it, as Pawnee Heights is definitely another state contender, Dighton another state contender, as there are a lot of teams in this area that could very well go to state and go a long ways in it as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it'll only benefit the Bulldogs playing the schedule that they've played so far this season, just because when we get into the sub-state area, like you just mentioned, Kale, they'll be seasoned and they'll be ready for it just due to the the strength of their schedule. The SOS, as college football analysts would call it, gets it there, can't get the turnaround to go in, and we've got all bench players on the floor for both teams currently. It's 49-31. We're down to 21 seconds left on the clock. See if the Bulldogs can't get one down low as Lakin Getz tries to bully his way to the rim. Gets through the contact, draws the foul, and he'll shoot two.
And definitely a big, strong guy down there, as someone you would not like to take a charge off of. Is that one could definitely result in a pretty hard landing and some bones that could be broken as well, as kind of learned that one from experience there, as taking a charge definitely has its side effects if gone wrong.
That's what they tell you. It's such a big deal to put your body on the line, Kale, and that's what they do, and that's what you did. You had to pay the repercussions of it. Had to learn how to use your left hand, didn't you?
Yep. Was not fun.
It'll pay off in the long run, I promise. You'll be a lot better with a better left hand, Kale. Getz gets 2 of 2 at the free throw line, and the Bulldogs going to try to score again before this clock expires. That shot good.
Nice three from Kane Johnson, the sophomore, as time is just about to expire, as Bulldogs not giving up until the very end. Is a nice job of hustling till the very end. A 13-point loss for the Bulldogs, 49-36.
You heard it from Kale, the first round loss for the Bulldogs here in the NWKL on their home floor. Dighton comes in, takes care of business. 2 seed on top of a 7 seed by 13 points. We'll keep it right here, give you a brief pregame, and give you a little bit of preview for this Friday as we talk about this one. For the Bulldogs, they were led in scoring. Preston Havlis had 9, hit 2 threes, and had the old-fashioned three-point play early on in the game. Braden Pulifka was an unsung hero as well for the Bulldogs, had 8 points. Lakin Getz had 6. Avery Briggs had 3. Riedel and Kyler Johnson each with 2 apiece for the Bulldogs. Kane Johnson also had the 3 right there at the end. And for The winning Hornets, 49 points for them, capped off by their two leading scorers. It was Carson Scheimer who finished with 17, Daniel Kramer with 14, had Max Neely with 10, Jaden Coleman with 6. It's not very hard when you've got all 4 of your 4 only scorers shooting lights out for the entire night, Kale. And Dighton going to move on in this one. They are going to take on the winner of Ness City, Wallace County. First of all, Kale, what do you expect from Dighton on Friday?
I definitely expect what we saw tonight, another great game, as they're going to crank up the intensity a lot more, as most likely facing Ness City, a very loaded senior class with Ness City, and they only brought juniors and seniors to the tournament, as most likely not a lot of young prospects over in Ness City, but a very loaded senior class that could definitely make a good run down the road, as just winning state a couple of years ago really helps as the coach, knowing what it's like from previous years, and some of the players, even just managing or being freshmen, sophomore, really know it as well.
Having the experience is key. And on the contrary, Kale, for the hometown Bulldogs, dropped to 2-6 after the loss to the Hornets tonight. What do they have to do to get back on track this Friday against the loser of the Ness City Wallace County game?
Well, as of right now, going into half, Ness City up 41-27. Most likely will be Wallace County. If it does happen to be Ness City, it doesn't make that much of a difference. You just got to crank it up and just win. I mean, that's all the Bulldogs need to do right now is just win. They don't need too much else than just winning, and that's what's going to help them go on to sub-state, as a good stretch of wins would really help them in the long run.
Dighton going to bring the intensity on Friday against the winner of that Wallace County and Ness City matchup, while Quinter needs to just win on Friday to keep their season alive. Kale, thanks for joining me. For the viewers at home, thanks for joining us, and for Tiger Media Network and the rest of our production crew, we thank you for listening. We hope you have a great evening, and we'll see you all again on Friday.